All right, let's do it. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Okay, I messed around with the opening a little bit. I don't know. I'm just trying new things. I took some opening from the opening from the Gamestop video. I figured I mixed it in, but this will change over time. I'm just testing stuff out, huh? Okay, let's get right into it. I saw some stuff was down today. It seemed like some stuff was up today. I think tech was up. I saw a little bit of the headline, so let's just see. I may have taken a sneak peek here while that video was playing. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so Brazil down. All right, so I bet some commodities, emerging markets largely stable. Okay, so maybe something specific to Brazil looks like. Sorry, I'm scrolling. All right, let's commodity. Oh, what's the stream looks like it's a little bit slow. Sorry about that. It should be okay though. I don't have too much stuff open, so I don't know what that's about. Hopefully that goes away. Okay, so silver was popping back up today. I saw those silver and gold bouncing back a bit, but still right there. There's not much happening. We can see the price point. Break above 30 might be newsworthy. A break back above 2,000, 2,100 for gold, whatever. Gold, copper back above 3. All right, so commodities were okay today, but oil and gas I noticed was getting hit a bit today. Yeah, but not much. 3%. See, 3% these days is seems like it's a big move, but it's not really. A 3% move is not that big for. These are the ETFs. So they were looking suspect. They were looking suspect Friday. So then they bounced a bit, but now they're back. What was that? Monday they bounced back. Kind of bounced back. All right, kind of pulling back here. So definitely this is noteworthy. Let's just see what happened. And some of the price points on some of the stocks too. We'll get to that. I noticed. Yeah, we're gonna see the same chart all around, but remember that artwork. It's kind of breaking through there. If there's anything to this XES, it's kind of representative of this, I suppose. But I noticed the price point of oil. This kind of people just in natural gas. This was down, not much though. These are natural gas producers, but all the same chart, right? We don't need to go through all this. Anything else? And gold miners were up naturally, right? Because gold and silver, but not really nothing notable today. It's in a, I don't know, what would you call it? Holding period? Not holding period. What is it? We're just waiting for it to do something. It'll go up or come back down. Just watch them. Okay, shipping, a little bit green. Internet. So I saw tech was up today. Oh, I do want to check that because, sorry, let me scroll back. So let's check the indices here. It's been a couple of days. Can I check it? Let's check this way. Right? Sick. Okay, so these are the comparisons. We'll start with. I did this a couple weeks ago, I think, but that was a good time to check this. S&P versus Dow, coming back up strongly, crushing it. Here you go. Nasdaq versus NYSE, new highs today. So this is kind of what we're seeing. Although not on the. Is this the weekly? Not on the RSI. A little bit noteworthy there, huh? What was this earlier in the year? Yeah, really bullish. So not super bullish or anything, right? That's kind of noteworthy, I'd say. And then QQQ, there you go. I heard this was what was crushing it today. Same chart, same thing. Japan, I'm not so concerned about everything today. We just did it a couple weeks ago. Really, that's enough. Hong Kong versus S&P. Yeah, S&P cranking it. All right, let's get down to S&P. So here you go. So, wow. So this is a pretty, okay. Okay, interesting. Just want to see it on the daily. It's making a move, huh? It didn't work. Oh, because I grabbed a hyphen. That's why. Sorry about that. Let's do this. Let's check the daily, huh? And I just kind of zoom in a little bit. Yeah, look at this. It's kind of making a move past 3 days. I heard it's only been down like 2 or 3 days this month, huh? That's kind of crazy. Yeah, let's see the red candles. There you go. We can look at the candles to try to ballpark that. I see 1, 2, just something noteworthy. But yeah, so this week really, boom, 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 boom. This is bullish and it's overbought, making a new. This is bullish, huh? Okay. And the Dow making its way back, trying to catch up to its previous highs. I saw there was some rotation there, and the Dow stocks got kicked out. Something got kicked out. Did Salesforce get added to? I forget. There you go, Nasdaq. Yeah, this is super bullish. Well, I guess I'm watching the RSI. I guess I don't. It doesn't quite get as overbought, but it's hard to short this, right? Not that I'm necessarily looking to, but how do you short something that looks like this? It's hard to time that. And there you go with the NASDAQ 100. Wow. Okay, so this is what's catching everyone's attention. This is the Wilshire 5000, you know? And that's breaking out too. That's not just the S&P 500, you know what I mean? It's like it's like a lot of the stocks that are publicly traded are grouped in this. I don't think there's actually 5,000. I think it's much lower than that these days. But it's across the board, you know what I mean? All right, bullish. Doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. This is with the charts, right? We know that. I'm reminding myself I know that, right? I'm like, all right, it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Next. All right, I guess that's about it. I kind of just wanted to check on that and zoom in. It's been a couple of bullish days. Maybe they can always come back and retest, but then you're building a little bit of a support and resistance area there. What is that? Japan. Okay, so Japan's made its way back. I forget when we looked a couple weeks back. It's right there. Everything still looks okay. You know what I mean? It will be time to start. I did raise a little bit of cash, by the way. I know I said I had to do that because I was like point something %. But I mean, as far as like taking a ton of capital off the table, I don't see the reason just yet. There'll be plenty of opportunity to, but right now I just don't see the justification. Except for I'm just trying to raise dry powder. That's all. Just to and plus things have kind of gotten close to fair value. So all right, let's keep moving. I hadn't checked up on that. I wanted to see that. It's good for us to remember that in the backdrop. And then commodities, we're checking this so frequently. I already know. But look at so this. I'm not too concerned. So we see this the red today, right? So I see this, and I think, and I did check the individual positions. We'll get to that. But then I'm like, all right, let me just check oil prices, right? And you pull this up, ain't shit happening. There's nothing happening. It's just a little bit of like rotation, and these aren't perfectly correlated oil prices in the underlying positions. They're pretty correlated. You know what I mean? you could see this chart. You could take a guess at what the hell the oil and gas stocks were doing. Right? I mean, everything was going down. I'm just joking, but when I see this and I think, hey, oil's holding up, bro. I'm less concerned about a 3% move. It's just noise. Who cares? I'm just talking about it because it's the only thing that's lit up today. You know what I mean? I want to see if you see 5% moves, 10% moves, a chart breaking down, then we need to dive in. But we do see that trend line on oil and gas. But because I see oil prices kind of stable, but maybe they're leading. Maybe the stocks are leading oil prices down. Let's keep an eye on that. That's something now that we're like doing these regular streams, and now we can keep an eye out for this because let me just do the bigger one. This is XOP. Like maybe if oil prices start hitting, like if oil prices get below 40 in a couple of weeks, I'm like, let's make a note of this. Leading oil. We'll see. No strong opinion. I'm just less concerned about it. This doesn't mean it's just a couple of damn days, huh? We want to see what it's doing on the weekly. This is a little bit noteworthy because I'm trying to be more diligent about this. Let's check the 3-year weekly. It's just kind of flatline. All right, you back out a little bit. All right, there's not much happening here, and much less concerning. You know what I mean? That's why I try not to get too dialed into those dailies. I mean, if you're like a day trader and stuff, that you're caring about, even your minute charts you're looking at, right? The dailies I'm keeping an eye on. It's kind of like, hey, heads up, you might want to focus on this. But then I'll back out, look at the weekly, and then there ain't shit to be. Whatever. I'm glad we backed out to the weekly. That's good. That reminds me. Okay, it's cool. Okay. Oh, what is this? So tech was up today. Any style? I guess not. Russell 3000. Even the Russell 2000 was down today. That's what caught my attention. I popped in here just to see what the market was doing. I saw NASDAQ was up almost 2% and small cap 2000 down. I'm like, whoa, interesting. Just one day, but noteworthy. That's kind of news. That's maybe the news event for me today, but it's just one day. What we could do is that compare the two, you know what I mean? But I don't care enough to do that right now. Like compare QQQ or NASDAQ versus Russell 2000, but we know it's crushing it. All right, and anything worth checking up on today? What was that? Gold miners? Yeah, no news there. Oil and gas, Transocean. That thing's been super volatile, hasn't it? Oh, shit. I thought it was just up big. Wasn't it just up big? Wow. Oh, wow. Why did I think it was up big someday? Maybe, I guess it was just down big. That looks terrible. I can't believe it's not, it's hanging in there. All right. Tech. This all looks good. Commodities. Oh, right. We saw copper back above 3. Rider, Collector's Universe, Netflix. Oh yeah. So look. Tesla time. Grab your beers. Tesla time. 6% today. What do you do with this? See what I mean? Bullish. It's bullish. You can't touch it. You get burned. You get burned. Everything. I feel like every day we pull this up on the stream, it's always bullish. Even this day it was red. It made a new all-time high that day. All right, let's check the market cap, huh? That's what I'm kind of curious about, right? That's what I'm always like, what the hell? What the hell? 400. Oh. Can't touch it. What did it open at? It opened at 2. I saw a whole bunch of them up today. Do I have Facebook? I don't have Facebook in here. Wasn't Facebook up big? They all crushed it today, huh? Let's look at this. We just saw Netflix. The Netflix report or something? That's a big... I hate Yahoo Finance does that. Oh, did it just report after... When did it report? Yesterday? Well, it must have report, right? It didn't even report? You kidding me? You kidding me? What? You're kidding me. It's just up. It's just up 11%. What the F? These are just crushing it today. They were just super in favor. Whoa, that's a big. These are big moves. These are big moves. Let's go. Let's do this. What? Yeah. I might need a stronger. I might need a stronger drink for this. You know what I mean? Holy. Amazon. Whoa. I mean, now we see why these are huge components of the S&P. These are huge components of a lot of things. And assume the NASDAQ, no wonder these things are cranking. Facebook. What's the other one? Fang, Mesa. Wow, those are big moves for big companies, you know? So I say this is what I mean. Like I talk about this, how it's helpful. Like even big, huge names can move big, right? That's why, like I always have been repeatedly saying that self-criticism of in March, April should have been piling on to some of these trendier stocks. That even though they're larger cap companies and not traditional value stocks, whatever, like they can make moves because if people want to move capital into them for whatever reason they may have, they can do it. And they're doing it. You know what I mean? This is how much billion is being added in value for these companies or across all these companies? I don't know. Oh, Apple. Jeez. Okay. Wow. I mean, I don't know. It's just decidedly bullish. And then how about Bitcoin today? Back above 11. Okay, nothing happening here. We're seeing it's kind of doing the same thing. Gold and silver. Now I'm starting to group all these in my head. Like we're seeing the same shit. I don't need to keep checking up on them. It's all risk on stuff. People taking a breather with these, moving into tech stocks. Wow, but in a big way though. In like blockchain, Bitcoin truck blockchain was that? Yeah, okay. All right, so that's okay. And how about what's VIX doing? All right, still bobbing around a little bit there, up a little bit. Let's check on some of these new NYSE new highs and lows. All right, just slowly. I added this. I mean, look at this thing, huh? I mean, now it's just there's nothing really noteworthy here. At this point, it's the most useful at advanced decline. Oh yeah, let's check this out. Okay, I'm kind of new to continually reading these. I get the gist of it. I don't really. I don't. This is the cumulative line over time, and is that the? I don't know. I need to see. I kept this in here for me. Check this. Oh, see, the good thinking. Good thinking. Check this out. The difference between the, I mean, I know that part, but track whether the advanced decline and market averages are trending in the same direction. Best known for breadth indicators, as always, utilize this in conjunction. Good reminder for myself. Let's pop that back up. Is that it? So it's kind of fallen over, right? As in fewer companies are advancing versus declining, whereas we know the S&P 500 and the Wilshire 5000 are cranking. So this it's a bit noteworthy. It's kind of odd that I didn't. Oh, is it? What's NYA? Oh, it's the NYC. Okay, perfect. I was going to say, if you're going to look at it like that, you need to be comparing it against the indices in the same chart. So it's being compared against the NYSE composite, which makes sense, right? Because it's the NYSE advanced decline. And we see that's the red line trending up, right? And this is falling over. It's been a while since I've looked at it. I was kind of dialing into these things back in the when everything was heating up a bit. But again, I haven't historically leaned on these too much, so I'm just trying to be, it's another thing I can be looking at. And you can see these kind of fell in conjunction, so I don't know how useful it would have been, but still, it would have been super bearish. You start seeing this in late February, right? It would have been like, hey, heads up, this is scary. It's like, you might want to take, you know what I mean? Like, you'll have a bit of opportunity to take some capital off the table. But so they're a little bit noteworthy, huh? So if people talking about breadth issues, I don't follow that too closely, but they probably are. As in, just a few companies. What's this? Oh, this is NASDAQ. What's NASDAQ? That might be more interesting. So it's cranking higher, right? But it too is kind of falling over a bit. Nothing too crazy, but we see the breadth. Weakening a bit. What's this one? I need to look at that. I need to look at this definition again. Oh, I'm glad I included these. I was probably thinking to myself, you're going to forget these. I've been typing them in haste, huh? Oh, no. All right. Taking the difference between the two exponential moving averages. Difference between the 19 and the 39. Oh, boy, this is some serious technical analysis stuff, huh? I remember, when I said I didn't use these historically, but then at the time, I was looking into them. What was that, stock charts definition? I got a link in here. You can check these out. Actually, just check out you got links here to stock charts. You check these out if you're curious about learning more about them. I thought these are pretty helpful. So I was reading through them, like the rationale behind them, and these are in a lot of technical analysis books too. In particular, was it John Murphy's book, that famous one? Oh, what's it called? I don't have it here. It's upstairs. Technical analysis. Shit, it's John Murphy. He's the famous one, right? And they cover these things in great detail. And I was looking through all of it, and there's so much stuff out there you could use. I use a fraction of it, but I was like trying to think of which ones make sense to me, a value investor. And so I handpicked these, and these are commonly used ones, right? Some of the more common ones. Excuse me. And I'm like, you know what? This seems like it could be useful to toss in here. And I guess that's it. And then this is the call. So let's just remind. And anyway, and I looked at the charts, and I'm like, you know what? There does seem like this could be, you could catch something here. And so I left myself notes in some cases. Well, these are crossings above the zero line are positive. The difference between the 19-day 10% trend and the 39-day exponentially smooth averages, right? Crossings above zero are positive because that means your 19-day trend is above your 39-day trend. Readings above 100 overbought, right? Above 100 overbought or sold. As always, utilize this. Yeah, so I keep on reminding myself of that. You can't just look at these in isolation. You're going to do yourself a disservice. So this is negative, right? This is negative, right? Can we check that once more? We're not below minus 100, so it's not oversold or anything. It's just noteworthy that it's crossing above the zero line and below zero and negative. That means that 19-day trend is falling below the 39-day of the daily net advanced decline figures. Wow, there's a lot going in there, huh? Now I'm curious. Let's see. I haven't looked at this in a while, so let's see. Yeah, look, bullish, huh? Bullish. Wow. April, May, June, huh? Huh. So it was much more bullish. Overbought. I mean, it was overbought on this indicator. A couple of months, not quite as overbought now. Okay. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to pull this up. We haven't pulled it up yet, you know? Almost a month in. Is this week 4? I think it's week 4. And then we got the same thing for the NASDAQ. How about that one? Same thing. Okay. The exponential moving average of the daily New York. All right, it seems like this one's getting a bit technical for me. Whereas, like, if he gets too, I like really simple stuff, right? I like really simple metrics and theses. I mean, a simple thesis, and that was the thing when I was flipping through that John Murphy book. Some of the stuff got really intricate, and I thought I start to lose conviction when it gets overly complex. And that one seems like it's borderline, huh? Put call ratio, I get this one. I even left myself a note on this one. As I'm like, these are useful at the extremes. This is bullish. All right, it's fewer puts to calls. There's this. No, what did I say? Excessively high and excessively bullish. Yeah, so it's pretty bullish right now out there. We know that. All right. How much did we really add by taking a peek at these? I don't know. You kind of got that gist. It's the breadth one's kind of useful. That one's helpful. Put call is helpful, but most helpful at extremes, you know. This one, let me review this one again. And what I do too is I look back at historical markets and what these indicated at that time. That's a good way for me assessing. I did it at the time. This is why it's in here. I wouldn't have added it in here if I thought it was totally folly. And you can assume it's not totally folly. Why don't I just say folly? I mean useful to your style. You know what I mean? For some people, this is useless. Buffett, for example, this is useless. But for me, I'm trying to at least integrate this, even if I don't heavily lean on it. So we did it. Check the box today. Okay. All right, let's keep, what is it, 723? Okay, not bad. Let's get to the portfolio. What was moving today? Oh, new goal was up, right? Because gold was up. Oh, FTK. We were talking about FTK on Monday, right? Flowtech. And then it pops yesterday. Huh? We all getting in front of me? It's right back to where it was. I'm just messing around, of course, right? But, so this is one we were saying looked real interesting. Yeah, that day. It popped yesterday. I'm like, son of a... It's above like 260 there. I'm like, oh, I was going to add. Now I'm just waiting right now. But after that stream on Monday, because I was like, oh, yeah, let me look into this. And I'm still bullish on it, right? But what's happening here? And, you know, there's a good article on this one, Seeking Alpha. This is what I read after, because I'm like, wait a second. Let me get the up. What happened was they did an asset sale a couple of years ago. This is why I got on my radar. It was either early 2019 or late 2018, I forget. And they sold a big part of the business. And the cash the proceeds from that sale were like larger than its like enterprise value or something absurd. And I was like, how is it trading so cheaply? And that was why it had popped right here. It was like, what the hell? And the market's like, oh, how'd you get all that money for that business? And then so this is when I got added to my radar, but I never owned it. I'm like, oh, I'll keep an eye on this just in case. And then it said boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, oh, this is sick. And then here was when it was at trading below net. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't even give a shit what's going on. I'm just going to buy it based on that. I know it had energy exposure in the insider buying, all that. We touched on all that. We made a note of this, right? Oh, that's all I said. Buy more, look into it. But then when I looked into it, they had tons of cash on the books. So check out this article, by Fluid Stock. Oh, he was very bullish. But then when I looked into it, what they're doing is they had all this cash, right? But now they're trying to diversify their operations, and I have not much insight. Read this. I thought this was a good background. This was a good article for me to like get back into a company, kind of follow the story. It was kind of reminding me of everything. But what's happening is they made an acquisition. What was it, in May? Was it J3 or something? And it's more a data type aspect of energy. And so it could be a long-term good thing, right? But the short-term play was you got all this cash on the books, and we did pull up the balance sheet, right? I'm certain we did. That's why I dove in, and it looked really good, right? But now, and then I'm like, you got all this cash on the books. Remember, they had 100 million last year, at the end of last year. But now it's like, all right, but they're not paying this out as a dividend. They're not doing bolt-on acquisitions, for better or worse. That could be a good thing. Maybe their legacy business is not a good thing to invest in. But anyway, so they're diversifying and buying other businesses that quite aren't what they did historically. So I don't really have much insight as to whether they're going to pull this off. Is it a good idea? Is this management team competent? Are they going to succeed in acquiring new companies to diversify their revenue stream and kind of start growing again, turn into a growth type business. They could. I really have no idea, but that kind of made me take a step back because now your historical fundamentals are no longer really reflective of what we might expect going forward. It's going to be a completely different business, for better or worse. It could be a much better business. The way they described, if you read this article, the way they described what the company they acquired, what was it, J3 or something? Yeah, JP3. What did they pay, like $35 million, and they used cash and shares to pay for it. But it was just a little bit less compelling for me than I thought when we were on the stream. So I didn't sell anything or anything like that. The balance sheet still looks good, and I'm willing to give them an opportunity to test things out here, plus a couple of other things, right? Number one, this chart looks good. Chart looks good. I'm still bullish on energy for now, and also that insider buying, right? You know what I mean? So this is you take all these factors into account. That was a huge purchase by this dude, and he's on the board and everything like that, and he's an investor. So it's a vote of confidence, but so it kind of counters my concerns over if what they're doing is a good idea, if it's going to be worthwhile. Yeah. So I didn't add. I haven't added yet. I'm like, well, I'm not adding now because you all front run, you're buying ahead of me. No, I'm just kidding. But it was just up so much yesterday, and then today kind of pulling back. But now I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna. It's already such a big position in the portfolio, right? Yeah, it's number 6. It's 2% of the portfolio. So, but I didn't trim on my. All right, I'm just gonna watch it for now, and we'll just see what happens. But so I like it. I'm okay. I'm comfortable with where it is right now because of the strength of the balance sheet. I'm willing to give them a little bit of wiggle room here to try to figure out what they're doing, especially because of that insider buying. If they didn't have the insider buying, I might be trimming right now. But that's a strong balance sheet. I'm telling you, like, strong balance sheet will really, they say this, like, helps you sleep at night. You can be comfortable with it even at 2% of the portfolio. So I'll give them some wiggle room, plus the chart's looking good, blah, blah, blah. I'm just talking a lot. I should say all that. I should have been making a note of that. After biz disposition, still strong balance sheet, solidly positive net about I think about $1. It's a little bit less than $1, and big insider buying from director, investor. I think that's good. That's good enough. Okay. But anyway, we're going to expect all this to come down. Antero coming back down. So it could be that I added a bit early on this. I added right there. It's holding up okay when you back out on the weekly. But obviously I'm keeping a close eye on these ones. And RRC was down quite a bit today, wasn't it? Yeah, this is the weekly, which looks like it's keep an eye on this. It could be coming back. This looks, it came back down, okay. So this is a big down day. How big was it down today? Does it say? It doesn't say. Yeah, they should have that. You should see the percent. It's not here? That's weird. Oh, right there. Thank you. I was going to say, that's weird. 8%. Down 8% today. That's a big move. And natural gas wasn't even down that much, right? Did we say that? It's at 250. So same thing. We're seeing the same thing as we saw with, look at me. This is bullish. But again, they're even less correlated, natural gas and natural gas producers. So, interesting. I'll keep an eye on this tomorrow. Again, the weekly doesn't look too bad, but I get some options, and so I need to be playing this carefully. Interesting. Big down move. 8% on RRC. That's big. It's conceivable that maybe I should have trimmed RRC and just kind of took some off the table, just wait and then buy. I don't even think I'm down on AR or Sandridge, but maybe I'm like flat or something like that because I averaged about right. So keep an eye on this. We'll see. But I have no reason. You know what I mean? When you talk about a multi-year, a bullish trend, it's just whatever. It's really only if you have time-limited options that you're kind of dialed into these shorter-term moves. Okay. RRC, yeah, 8%. There we go. Sandridge, 6%. So I noticed that. I saw all that, right? And then Forum, I've been adding to Forum Energy. So that's the one I put. I was up today. What the hell is it doing up today? Look at that. Cool. I may add again to that. It's risky. It's risky, but look at this. This looks good. It's countering It's countering the oil and gas trend that we're seeing too, just like FTK. You know what I mean? These oil, we're seeing across all these oil and natural gas things. Like it looks somewhat bearish, just not a tad bearish. You know, not bullish, and these still look bullish, really bullish. That's a good sign. I'm going to say add to FET. I took some energy off the. Oh, what am I at for cash? Oh, I need to add something to here for cash, but I have it here. I got cash up to 3%, still too small if you ask me. But so I sold some position. I sold a little bit of energy, but I may rotate it into FET. This looks good, but risky. If everything starts selling off, this will get crushed. It'll get halved easily. But if things start moving up, it could go. I mean, it could double easily, but it could go quite a bit higher. So I kind of like that. Okay, I think I'm gonna say add to fit. Modestly bearish oil and gas trend. Modestly. All right, what's going on? Was there anything else on? I'm gonna say no. Oh well, and look at this one, huh? Psh, damn. Damn. That's fine. This doesn't look particularly bullish. I don't feel as though this is a missed opportunity or anything like that, but we've been watching this closely, huh? And then it popped right back up. Yeah, one to keep an eye on. What was volume on this? Oh, I didn't do that. Yeah, what was volume on this? Let me check that real quick. Oh, it's right there. I have volume down there. Come on. Yeah, nothing. A little bit up. All right, just wondering if like someone's taking position or something, but fossil not down. I remember I said $4, right? Keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll dive in deep if it starts pulling back quite a bit. Should be down one deep. Damn, Michaels, huh? Keeps on cranking. Oh, sick. How about, and what was Party doing? Looks good too. Wow. Oh, we're still kind of quiet, Signet. Looks good. That looks real good, huh? I don't know how much upside there is now, though. Maybe a double. I was pretty bullish on it back here. That turned out to be okay. Yeah, and I didn't quite get a double, but I timed that right. I think. Kind of forget. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure because it was a newer position for me. PDS pulling back. That's just tracking oil and gas. But we were watching. Oh, that doesn't look great. Okay. Yeah, none of the drillers look good, huh? P10. Oh, they're just following oil. All right, not much. Look at that, Helmerich and Payne. I remember I just trimmed or just sold out of that for the most part, and then we saw it in Burries. I was like that day I had sold it. Doesn't look all that great. Huh. Will those drillers lead oil and stuff? Yeah, we'll see. But otherwise, mostly quiet. Like 4% on some of these. That's natural gas. I sold out of a couple of my smaller natural gas plays. Did I sell CNX? And I sold, there's another one too. CNX, and what's the other one? I didn't sell EQT, but there's another one. I can't remember. Yeah, this position. This one looks like this. This looks bad. But I had it as portfolio because I thought it could also crank. And I'm not seeing any news or anything, so that's pretty bearish. Especially it looks way worse than the others, but it's super speculative. Even more so than FET. It's the most speculative energy position. Would I make that claim? It's the most speculative in the Roaring Kitty portfolio? I think it is. But I feel like if energy turns around or whatever, it could be like a 10-bagger. So that's the trade-off. Not much happening. Oh yeah, Nordstrom. What's happening? Did they report? Did they report? I think they did. Wow, that sucks. It's not that good. You know what I mean? So if I stink today, I mowed the lawn. I mowed the lawn before the stream started, so I apologize. But I'm like confident stuff as dirt was kicking up. But wow, it doesn't look that good, huh? I've heard people say this is a good business too. It does, and it's a good name. It's a pretty good brand, you think? They get like higher class stuff. If you're gonna be a brick and mortar retailer, that's what you think you'd have, that people want to shop there, but it's still a tough business. You know what I mean? That's why it's not that big of a position. Of course, I just diversified across all retails. It's not like I'm super bullish on any of them in particular, except I guess for GameStop. Oh yeah, see, we skipped GameStop today. Wow, this is a pretty quiet day overall, Hibbit. Wow, Hibbit, that was a good one. What's this cruise line doing? I feel like that's kind of an indication as to the trendier COVID stocks. Or, all right, this is a noisy day, not noisy day, a quiet day. Yeah, I trimmed a couple more. I trimmed Xterin. I trimmed CPLG. These are all nominal positions now. CNX. Oh, Movado's a nominal position. Oh, I didn't realize that. It's not even a position. Oh, that was a good decision. Hey, good move. I think I mentioned that on the last stream. I forgot it. I didn't realize it's just not even a position. Oh, that turned out to be the right move. Yeah, interesting. A bit, and I was in the stream. I remember talking. It just never got that cheap. Yeah, okay, not much happening. Yeah, I saw GameStop was up. Wow, this GameStop chart looking good. Just saying. Don't this look yeah, it had that big update. What was that, last Friday? And then came down, but then closed up. This looks like a short-term bullish type thing, right? Not quite overbought yet. Oh, they announced that they're gonna announce earnings 2 weeks from today, I think. Wednesday after hours, September 9th. Is that, when are they gonna do pre-orders or something? Is that around that time? Did I hear people speculating that? I wonder if they're timing that, but I don't know. I don't know. That's about when I expected. I was saying September 10th, September 15th, but really it's that Tuesday, September. It's usually Tuesday to Tuesday. That what I would have figured. So we'll see what they say. It's looking like they're not going to make an earnings release before then, I don't think. At this point, there's only 2 weeks left, so they'll just drop everything then. But I wonder if it gets bid up into that earnings release. And, I mean, every single earnings release for the past. Since when? So since as long as I've been invested in the company, it's sold off on that. So let's see could this be the first quarterly release where they don't sell off huge? I don't know. If it gets bid up leading into it, they could sell off into it. But it doesn't matter so much, right? The big catalyst is this fall, and I don't know if this earnings is, I don't know. I'll just keep it open-ended for now. I'll think about it some more too. But this chart looks bullish. How about on the weekly? It's like keeps getting stopped out right above. At least it's above 5. That's a change, huh? It was up more today, right? So it was at 3%, but it was up but the whole market was up today. So but it was up when some of the other value positions are down. All right, that's it for the Rankin portfolio. All right, what to do today? We could dig into some of these companies. Energy 19. All right, so not more. Okay, and then let's check daily. Let's just get right into it. We'll figure out what we're gonna do after. Let's check daily movers. The dime. Does this one ring a bell for me? Not really. Oh, let me move this thing over. All right. So, Salesforce, that was up big today too. Yeah, that was another one. That's a big company. 245 billion. Wow. Up 26%. Oh, Chico's was up today, huh? Did I ever own it? I felt like I was so close to owning. I was so close to Chico's. That was wow. That's interesting. They announced good news. I'd check that out. What'd they have to say? They didn't announce anything. Things up today. No announcement. But something like Chico's. That's not just a trendy tech. Oh, they did announce something. What'd they announce? Oh, they announced. Okay. Sales improved 9% from the first quarter, right? So sequential, not year over year. Expenditure done. So it must have been their forecast. Our core strengths, blah, 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 blah. We were taking advantage, blah, blah. As I enter my second year of the business, so a new management team. We lowered our SG&A expenses by 37%. Let's hope GameStop can do that too. I remain excited and optimistic about the future of Chico's business. We achieved a 37%. Yeah, okay. What's the outlook? I'm surprised a company like this popped. Didn't they have a strong balance sheet at the end of the quarter? Cash amount was, they had 120 million plus in cash, which is almost enough to cover debt, right? That's good. Remain unchanged, but still they're a retailer, so it's tough. At the end of the second quarter, here we go. Outlook, given the market. Right, they don't even make a outlook. Give an outlook. Wow, 20% is a big move. Let's see what that does from here on out. It's kind of, I'm looking at this. It's not even in the portfolio, right? But as a indication as to how other retailers might be performing, you know. Any comments? A couple comments here. Optimistic about future on sequential improvement. Aren't you gonna have isn't everyone gonna have sequential improvement, right? I mean, because it was such a bad. No, not necessarily. No, because Q2 is gonna be the rough one. Still, the seasonality of these businesses too. It muddies it. Okay. And declined 40% year over year. Whoa, sales are down 40% year over year. Wow. Digital sales grew 70%. Gross margin rate up quarter over quarter. Oh, up quarter over quarter. Okay. But down year over year. Does that mean sequential quarter, but year over year? Wow, that's a big drop year over year. What? Oh, that can't be right. Is that right? I think that's quarterly? Wow. Did you continue the market? What do people have to say about this? New management team have great track records. I've never shopped at Chico's, really. I don't know if you have. Not an exact science. However, the turnaround is that it's a turnaround. If you were in turnaround mode as this hit, and you're just a regular retailer, this is what I mean. That's why, like, Gamestop's a little bit different, and some of these other like discount stores or like Kirkland's. I'm just mentioning Kirkland's because I see it right there. But some of those like those ones are kind of benefit a little bit. Michael's, but some of these have been cranking. They mentioned Michael's. I don't know. All right, interesting. All right, Urban Outfitters up today, so a whole bunch of them are up today. Oh, Valhalla. Oh, did they do a reverse stock split? They must have. $12. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm glad I got out of that one. That was a good decision. Oh, there's like a family that owns this company. There's like 3 publicly traded companies that they all own each other's stock or something. What is it? Compex, Valhi. I don't even remember what they are. There's 3 though. And like one of them's chemicals, one of them's like office equipment or something. I can't even remember. But I was willing to test it out at first. I'm like, I don't want anything that this isn't for me. I think I was invested around here. And then I saw it, and then you know what? I remember this stuck out to me. I'm like, I was watching this, then it was up, and then it was down, then it was like, I'm like, this is kind of bearish, isn't it? And then when it started selling off, I think I just sold out. So that was a good decision. But like a true value stock, there's not much institutional ownership or something. Dick's was up. All right, so retailers were up today, huh? Interesting. Oh, that probably helped GameStop. Big 5. Yep, we saw that was up. We saw Hibbett's was up. Oh, there's Hibbett's right there. Netflix. Wow, some brick and mortar retailers were up. They must have had some just better than expected, right? Not so much good. Wow, NIO. Wow, this is another one of. Oh, I could add this one to that trend, to that risk column, right? Look at this. This is a 10-bagger. It's a 10-bagger. I remember reading that it was super. Whoa, what are you gonna do with this? Yikes! That's another Tesla type company, right? Oh shit, huh? Oof. Smith & Wesson, that was just down big a couple of days ago, so now it's bouncing back. Netflix. All right, not much else. Nothing worth checking out. I'm starting to get comfortable with a lot of these things, but anything worth checking out? So I see the dark green. I if I'm gonna invest it, if I'm gonna research like a biotech company or even a tech company, or like, I'm not gonna come across it based on daily movers unless I really saw something. If I was like, we're not really screening today, but if we were, like, I see this one actually kind of looks familiar. I see the market cap. Notice how they light up. Oh, I get the price and the market cap light up a certain color if they're kind of in my wheelhouse. That catches my attention. But This is life sciences. I feel like I don't know if I looked into it before, but that looks good. But I'd like to see some. I don't have any metrics over here for some reason. But for me to dig in, I'd come across those types of companies other ways, either from what funds are holding or a Seeking Alpha article. Someone mentions something that looks interesting or sounds interesting. But otherwise, if I'm just looking for what's going on, I'm just like seeing if anything lights up for me, you know? I'm not really in the screening process right now. I'm trying to cut back on positions, but let's look at this one, like 21V in that. 21V in that. I was going to say, that doesn't sound like an American company, and then I see the ADR. Like, it doesn't, an American company, they usually don't start with numbers like that. Let's see what it is. It's SA. It's not always South America, but I would have thought a Chinese company. Oh, yes. Yes, got that right. I've seen, no, that's kind of funny, right? I've seen like numbers in their company names before. That's kind of funny. But I don't know anything about it, so I'm not now. I don't even need to look into it, right? I could have told that just based on that name. I don't really deal in especially smaller Chinese companies, just because it's tough to assess the quality of the financials that you might see in the financial statements. You know what I mean? It's tough. I've just seen it not work out so many times that I kind of just overlook them. Many times. There's some good Chinese companies, don't get me wrong. It's just the ones that the deep value ones that would be in my wheelhouse. It's like, that's just an added risk. I got enough going on dealing in a deep value stock, you know what I mean? It's just another one that makes me uncomfortable. See anything sticking out here? I don't see shit. NIL, we just looked into that. Some green. So like, how about this one? This is a wild telecommunications, good sized market cap. Nothing's really, the revenue 700, go. I've heard of that one before, but like, I'm not looking for this stuff. Oh shit, that looks okay. Nah, I don't feel like digging into it. You could do this all day, you know what I mean? I can't do this all day. Let's just for, I know we don't do this. We haven't done this much, that much yet. And then these are red. These financials are real estate or REITs or something. Health insurance. Yeah, I don't care about that. Omex. So it's that. This is the blues and industrials, but I'm not. Look at revenues, 3 million. Right there, this column right here. Oh, can I do? Does this work this time? I can't get it working. I need a new highlighter thing. I meant to look into that. Get new highlighter. I gotta legit have to remind myself of this. Come on. How you gonna know what I'm talking about? I'm like pointing at stuff like you know what the hell I'm talking about. Netflix, Hibbit. Okay, well okay. So how about this one? Alkaline. What's Alkaline? What? Alkaline Water Company. $100 million market cap. That's a consumer staples. This yellow. I don't see the soft drinks. I don't even know that one. You know that one? Revenues 45 million. Really small. All right, just pop it open. But I don't see anything lit up over on this side. Legit, there's nothing lit up over this side. So that's what I mean. Like something like this, it's unlikely unless something's lit up or someone or I'm gonna come across these types of companies other ways. You know what I mean? Maybe if I pulled this up and I was also in screening mode. I'm not in screening mode right now. I don't really care at this time. I'll care again, but right now I got enough damn positions. That chart didn't look that compelling, and so I just got to keep moving. Like I said, you do this shit all day. Okay, so there's the up. What was down today? A lot of oil stuff, right? Oh, not that much. See, I'm glad I keep it 10%. If you do 5%, there's so much to look at. I just show me the big movers. And, wow, that's a big down. What is this? Have I owned this before? No, I don't even have it on a watch list. That's an auto parts company. But look at this. All right, see, I see some things that catch my attention here. 44%, though. That's bearish. Look at this chart. What's this? What's it doing today? Holy Toledo, huh? Look at that. Whoa. Pour one out for the longs, you know what I mean? Look at that volume, too. Damn. That's super bearish. Oh, this is... I probably wouldn't... Like, I see this. That would probably be enough for me. I doubt I'd be digging it. I might be interested, like, right here on huge sell-offs. That's what I mean. You can pick up some... I don't mean to... I'm sorry, Garrett Motion, but I'm going to group you in that. You can pick up some shit. Charts that look terrible. Maybe have a super speculative outlook. when everything's selling off, you can pick up some of those, just to diversify a little bit, and then they could go up huge, right? But in this type of a market, you get like this. There's just, what would you do with this? Oh, we get the business right here. What do they do? Sells turbocharger and electric boosting technologies for light and commercial vehicle original equipment manufacturers. Oh, it's based in Switzerland. Wow. Revenue's $3 billion. That's a good sized company, though. Okay, all right. Now it's kind of, it's not nothing. 300 million market cap after the huge sell off. Almost $3 billion in revenues. You got it would be a triple to the 52-week high. I don't actually have a value on this, but price to sales. All right, so it's around 10%. That one I can do. I usually think price to sales, so I'm trying to get used to sales to price, right? And then I see some stuff lit up. What is this? A 70% E yield? Okay, that's suspect. But a 40% operating cash flow. All right, shall we pull that up? Let's do it. I'm surprised that there's an auto parts company. I said this for another company too. It wasn't this one. There was an auto parts company like in my wheelhouse, market cap wise, revenue wise, and I like wasn't on a watch list or I hadn't heard of it. That always surprises me because I'm at least usually aware of these. But I know why, because it's only out in 2018. You know what I mean? So like new ones, if you've come out in the past year or two, I might not know it, which it's no big deal. But I always try to track as many as possible. All right, but that chart looks so bad. It's hard to, did they like take it public? Did they like take it public to so the insiders could benefit? They take it public at the right price and stuff, and now it looks like shit. Does anyone own it? Well, Wisdom, what you got for me? Anyone? There's no one gonna own. No one's gonna own this. No one's gonna own this. No way. Oh, there's some value investors out there. I don't know them though. Deccan Value Investors. They have value investors in their name. Yeah, no one else does. Jeez. All right, now a quick peek at what they're holding now. I don't know. Wow, this is they don't have many positions. If they were trimming, maybe they already. Oh, Herbalife. Yeah, no, this isn't my style of value investing. All right, let's just take a quick peek. You know what I mean? Was it GTX? All right, so I'm gonna have to fix this. So look at this. It's quarterly again. Oh man. That means they changed their. Let me just do this. Sorry, it's gonna take me 10 seconds. Look at that long name. Oh no, am I gonna have to do this for every tab? You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. Oh, that's gonna suck. I was going to say, do you see that long history? I'm like, how are you going to have that long of a history? We know you just went public. It was because it was quarterly data. I feel like I'm going to have to do this for all the spreadsheets to add in that variable. Hey, if it says this type of phrase. I know you don't understand. I'm kind of like, this is me. Like I'm talking aloud to myself. But, all right. So anything here? Look at revenues declining. Jeez. EBITDA, solid EBITDA to the price, huh? 1 times EBITDA. This looks like a mess. Some operating cash flow. What is it? So automatically, this is an added risk, right? If you only have 3 years to work off of, added risk. I can't even dig into these numbers. It's just everything I'm seeing looks so suspect. How about Seeking Alpha? Oh, you can't see behind me. I got the links here to these things. Let me pull this up. We're not going to see anything. There's just no way. Balance sheet. Oh, there's a warning. Oh, that's the type of thing. You see 40% move. There's like there's like a what's that phrase that they use? They toss in the 10K, going concern warning. That's that type of a move where people are like, we got to get out of this today, and everyone sells. Remember that? See that volume? You don't see this every day. Look at that volume. Sick. 8 million plus. They usually don't even get over 1 million. That's crazy. There's gonna mean that something was announced really bearish. Man, Seeking Alpha's been clutched lately, huh? To get that quick take, you usually have to pull up the press release, or that's just what I do, or you pull up Yahoo Finance and scroll down. That's been less reliable, but Seeking Alpha's been doing good in this news front. I'll give him props. Exploring alternatives for balance sheet restructuring. Oh my, forget it. Forget it. How long we waste on this? 5+ minutes? What a waste. That's okay. Innodata. Oh, this one's back down. That one was up. Remember I said I'm not going to look into that one. I've owned it back in the day, but I don't. Rex down. Oh, okay. They think they do some biodiesel stuff. Whoa, that's down big. They do biodiesel, right? Ethanol, yeah. They had other operations too, yeah. Ethanol and byproducts and refined coal, but I think it's mostly distillers grain and non-food. Wow, that's a big move down. What happened? Did they? What about the other one? There's a couple of these. So when you see one big move like that, you check the industry, renewable energy group, a couple of these firms that use corn as input to generate some fuel. And then what's the other one? GPRE. We just looked at GPR recently. Oh, here we go. And we saw insider buying on GPRE, right? We're starting to get in the swing of it here. Remembering stuff. Cool. Yeah, from Todd Becker. He's the CEO. We kind of just been waiting for a bit of a pullback, though. Oh, it kind of took off a little bit there. Is that because corn prices were in the gutter? Oh, it's starting to come up. Here we go. So, you can see what I mean? If you can tell, if you know with these companies, if you know what corn's doing, we should have guessed that. I should have guessed that before we pulled this up. Damn. And this is part of a lot of stuff has bounced all the way back, right? But the corn prices were in the gutter, so you can expect these to rise, these types of companies, because corn is an input for them. So it goes. And then we see this down move, and then we go, all right, well, something probably happened. Although, because we started a couple companies, that's why I would have guessed that something was happening with corn. It's clearly starting to bounce back. That's a good size move for corn. But that was a big move in Rex. Something else. They must have announced today or something. Oh, let's come on, Seeking Alpha. Don't fail us now. Don't fail us now. Production plan shutdown wipes out Rex. Oh, this is great. All right, so just a big biofuel producers toss 15 million pandemic aid. Oh, they got a. Okay, so they're struggling a bit. I'm not going to dial in right now. Just we'll keep an eye on them. Okay, cool. Oh, you know what I meant to check? Now that we got corn up, what about lumber? Oh, that thing, huh? That's impressive. It's bouncing right back. Is it going to keep going? Is it going to break 1,000? I mean, usually the whole round numbers type thing, does that apply? I guess it applies to commodities because commodities can trade. I mean, they're technical analysis. I think people use technical analysis on them quite frequently. So, but big round numbers for something like lumber, maybe it's coming for 1,000. Is it? I don't think so. These are all-time highs. Wow. I don't know. If you're dealing with supply shortages, there's no real. It's not like these numbers are mean anything much. It's just supply and demand, really. So, what are some other Kirkland type companies? I forget. Well, you know what we can do? Watch this. Let's check this out. Let's see if this works. Pierce. Oh, those are charts. But I want to go to the. Do I have the industry? Oh no. Do I only have the Pierce? Oh, I guess I don't have it. So what if I wanted to jump straight to the? Oh, I guess I don't have it. Seems like I should have a link to bring me to this industry. But we know what it is. We know what the industry is. Consumer discretionary. Oh, that's the sector, rather. I don't feel like taking it in right now. All right, so Bristol come back. I know we know it was just up yesterday. All right, there's not much going on. All right, we got this. In an hour, we've been through the portfolio, the macro stuff, and the daily movers. Let's just check insider buying quick. Anything happened today? Oxy. Okay. I saw there was another Camping World insider buy, right? He's going at it. But other than that, I don't think there was much. Yep, so he did another 500K. Check this. He's really going at it, huh? I've been trimming, right? Oh, I missed that. Oh, no, we saw that. Excuse me. So he's bought another $1 million on top of those purchases. He's making a statement here, huh? Look at that. Just about every day. Then he's upping his purchases. What's the date today? Yeah. Every day. He's done it every day since the earnings announcements when it fell. It collapsed. Fell from like 40 to 30. And now it's been kind of looking a little bit. I've been trimming because but I remember the trend still looks bullish. That's my thing. It still looks bullish. I see no reason to sell out. You're seeing a pull back here, and this looked a little bit alarming yesterday, but we're right there. It's holding up okay. Oh, this RSI is breaking down in the daily though, huh? So I mean, this is a little bit bearish. So that's, if you had asked me when it was here, what we were doing, it's like it still looked okay, but this is starting to look bearish. You know what I mean? But where's the downside? Down to the 20s, and then the question is, do you add? And what if we pull up the weekly? Weekly looks a little bit okay, like it's no real support or anything, but the RSI is just coming under overbought now. All right, I don't know. I'm just watching it for now. But trimming out of the position because the upside is much more limited now than it was when it was trading out at $5-10, you know. But him buying is a good sign. Cool. All right, where were we? Oh, the inside of buying. Nothing else happening though, right? Lionsgate. Nothing. Cool. All right. We're getting caught up. This is sick. Close out of some stuff. Keep the stream quick. Okay. All right, and then on the... Can we do the weekly? I haven't did the weekly. This should be like the Friday thing we do. Just see what was moving on the week because we're missing days. You see FTK up. Wow, a lot of Roaring Kitty portfolios, the biggest movers of the week, huh? This is sick. But none huge positions except for FTK. I can't believe FTK is so big now, huh? It's really cranked. Yeah, because it's up 100%, and it was already a big position of the portfolio. That's why. Right. I mean, let's hope we see the same with Gamestop, you know. But Barbecue Holdings, we looked into that. Well, what's that doing? What was our note on that? Barbecue? Not here. Last week? Buy small, add more at 3. Oh, I didn't buy that. Oh, good move. Luck. Why did I say buy small? Oh, glad we took a note. Buy small, add more at 3. David Cunningham, chairman of the board with 15% involved since 2018. Patrick Walsh, Bandera, Wexford in total. Oh, you can't see this note. Oh, I should zoom in. Can you not see that well? I never realized how small that looked. Oh, there we go. Sick. Oh. Make it a little bit bigger. There we go. That's better. They in total they own over 35%. Stock probably popped on 8/19 because Conan bought 250K shares on total. Oh, that's right. He was all the volume. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. The insider buying. Oh, shit. Margin of safety questionable. That's right. That's right. I should have added smalls to get it in the portfolio. Let's do that. I'm just going to copy the damn note. Forgot to do that. I mean, because when I say small, I'm like, lower priority. You know what I mean? But it's important to get in that portfolio. But we know if he was the lion's share of that volume, it's like, there's not really much to go off of there. But this is a good one. This is why tracking can be really helpful because it's like there's something unfolding here, and maybe the market hasn't really picked up on it because it's so damn small. But David Cannon, whatever the hell his name is. He's aware, and now we're aware too. So if the market sells off and this pulls back just along with everything else, we're ready to go. But it's even still a good idea to have it in the portfolio too, because you're even more dialed into it. What was his name? Courage and Conviction. He was the one saying it was 8 back in the day. Of course, that's probably changed. Yeah, margin of safety questionable. Okay, I'm kind of thinking, do I still have it in the fundamentals at all? Probably not. No, it's not there anymore. I think I just overwrote it. Okay. Anything else stick out? Anything else worth checking out in here? Poly 1. I gotta remove this. This is they changed their ticker. Poly 1. I gotta clean that up. I gotta update in the universe. Remember that universe? I gotta get that universe. I actually, because I get use Evernote, I've been updating companies less frequently in the universe itself. But that's what I'd be doing to update valuations and take notes. But I've been using Evernote, and plus it's more accessible to me this way. You know what I mean? Like really, I take notes in this universe spreadsheet that I have, right? So I'll take the note, Well, you'll see it. And then ideally it would be right in this column, just like I have the business right here. But we would have the note, and it would be a column. We'd just click it, and we'd see the note, and it would be everywhere throughout the spreadsheet. Right now, I got a Command F in the note, but I'm still not totally sold on which one's easier for me. Really, it should all be in a database, right? I guess that's my hesitations. That's how it should be, and I don't want to do the effort, put in the effort. But I'd submit here. You know what I mean? There was something I don't feel like doing this right now. POL, and there's a couple other things I needed to update too. I can't do that now. Okay. Anything else here? Appellation, market, 8 billion market cap. No, nothing worth checking out. I saw Flex Shopper was kind of pulling back a little bit today. Cinemark, Michaels. These are all the big ups this past week. Stealth Gas, Forum up. Yep. Facebook. Wow. Oof. Impressive. And what was down big? Wow, a lot of consumer discretionary stuff, but things that were up big too. Well, Kirkland's was. The other ones not so much. All right. I don't feel like digging into all these right now. I'm not seeing anything. Okay. Just some stuff up, some stuff down. What else can you take? That's it. That's the takeaway. Some stuff up, some stuff down. Okay. And then we already looked at insider buying, but this would be the weekly. Oh yeah, there was a small insider buy on Pump. If you saw that, it's right here. This column right here. It was only 75 million, but I took note of that. It wasn't the those brothers who took was it Wilkes brothers? It wasn't those guys. It was some insider. But I think this is the top. Is this the top energy position? Oh, it's becoming a smaller percentage of the portfolio because everything's kind of outperforming. It's kind of been doing nothing, but I'm still bullish on it, and I still like the balance sheet. I never did add Xerox. Anything else? I still feel like some of the why isn't Camping World here? Isn't that kind of weird? It seems like it should be here. Let me just check this real quick. I'll have to look into that too. Oh, it's there. It's just further down. All right. Okay, but we already looked at it. We're kind of like dialed into insider buying, so I know there's not much here to take note of. Okay. All right. Okay, and I just saw on this note there was something I wanted to check out. Continue to keep a close eye on OLN. Oh, we said that. Oh, we said that on Monday. There you go. Check out TA on a pullback to 15. Dig into fall some more. I don't feel like that now. Revisit Movado. I don't feel like that now. JTL. Oh, SIC? Residential construction? Yeah, what's that? How did we come across that? I don't remember. No, let me type that in the ad hoc one real quick. Could update that too. All right. Okay. Anything that we've been I'm glad we've got so much time. We could finish out those Roaring Kitty portfolio charts too. I haven't done that in a while. That's what I mean. So now we just did those 100. Oh, do I still have it somewhere? Oh, I closed out of it. Now we gotten through the first 100 charts, but I don't care about the rest right now. We'll do it again some. We did it on Friday. I feel like once every 7 days is enough for me, you know? Okay, what's number 7? Oh, it's still looking up. All right, what's this? What is this? Residential construction. SIC. Still loading up. All right, so revenues. I like this. All right, right on the 5. Is it not in the universe? What's going on here? Select interior. Oh, I have it open. Let me just check this. Sorry. It's, oh, it's a new company. There you go. That's why it's not on my. That's why I don't know it. I don't know this company. I like that. Sick. Okay, what do we got? Revenues growing, not much. It's kind of slow. Negative tangible book. Some debt. Any earnings? No dividend earnings. EBITDA of $1. What's it trading at? I don't even remember how we came across this. I should have documented that. Oh wow, that looks good. What we say? EBITDA of $1 though. Doesn't look super cheap. Wow. What's that? A 5-bagger? Nice. Wish I'd been tracking it, huh? Residential construction too? Damn, that would have been a nice one. That would have been a nice one. Bummer. What's the actual business? Is that all it is? Residential construction, consumer cyclical, yeah. They distribute interior building products for residential interior design services markets in the United States. Okay, so that's kind of it's going to be aligned with some positions that are already in the portfolio, right? Well, you got home builders, which there's a lot of in there already, and then CNR, which is one of the top positions. That's building products as well, more exterior type stuff as opposed to interior type things. But this is a similar play, and as you saw, CNR is one of the top positions, so this definitely would have made the cut if I had been following it. Interior design services. What do they do? What's in it? How much money can you make? How have they been doing? 3 years. This sucks. It's just not enough time. Oh, they're not making any money. Look at that. Minus, but they haven't been profitable yet, which isn't just, it's not the end of the discussion, right? But I start to get, what the hell am I going to do? This gets tough for me. They may have some operating cash flow down at the bottom here. This row right here, $1.57 trailing 12 months. Some simple free cash flow, right? Here's simple free cash flow. Just operating cash flow less capex. They got a simple free cash flow of $1.25. All right, well that's not bad. Was it insider buying? Oh, B. Riley. On Solace. Well, they first bought in in September 2018. It's interesting. Oh, that was when I was going public. Oh, it's one of these weird ones. I never get super comfortable with these ones. They're like involved with taking it public. They're like the PE firms. They know much more than I do, and I guess they're buying, right? Not much. That's always a little bit of a turnoff when I see like B. Riley and them getting involved. I'm not knocking them. They could be great investors, but every time they get involved, it becomes a different type of a play for me. I only got 3 years to go off of too. Does anyone say anything on Seeking Alpha? I need something. At this point, I need to see something before I'd start. I'll add it to the universe. Don't get me wrong. Overlooked and mispriced with an activist catalyst. Oh, okay. That was July 2019. What's it done since then? Down 40%. Right? Up here. Buckley Capital Management. Investment advisor focused on value investing with a concentration in small cap equity markets. Welcome, Buckley Capital, to the Roaring Kitty live stream. Okay. Combine a long, biased, value-oriented approach with a relentless discipline. Okay. So I like this, right? That's good. And then, do you have performance? No performance. Bummer. Team? Zach Buckley, analyst for Baker Street Capital. That one sounds familiar. Baker Street. Chief Operating Officer. Background. I think it's a small firm. Team, is that it? All right, so they don't have much. And then what was the last thing? What else do you check? Any other research on other companies? No other research on other companies, huh? What? Oh, sorry, I meant to do. What? Oh, they got a bunch. So then this is good to do. So you pull up, you come across an article, right? And then you can just do what other articles have they written, and then you can read some of their, especially if it's a company you're dialed into, and then you can see how they viewed it at that time, and you can use it as a way to calibrate. Or do they know what they're talking about for this other company, or maybe they missed something obvious back in the day? Well, how did it turn out for them, even if it's a company you weren't dialed into? But usually, I'm just looking at the names that they invested in previously. Like for example, if I saw someone who's just like they wrote a whole bunch of articles that are like, what's a value invested thing that's not my style? Like short Tesla or something, right? A lot of investors, like, that's a turnoff for me because, first of all, I've long felt that was a bad trade, a really risky trade, and And I just feel like time is better spent elsewhere, like on smaller cap equities and so forth. And so I like when I see names like that type of value investing where someone's actually writing some fundamental analysis on smaller companies as opposed to big value type plays, or even like the most commonly covered companies like Apple. You're going to see a ton of articles on Apple and stuff. So that's the type of thing I like to see. It's just a way. You know what? It takes 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes to pull up their articles and search their name and look for their background, what their expertise is, what the team is. I'd never heard of this one, and then you track so much that you get a feel for the common authors. But that was a new one I hadn't seen before, and they were very bullish and blah, blah, blah. But I don't recognize any of the other research, though. I don't even know these companies. Interviews, a lot of China stuff. A lot of interviews. Oh, a lot of interviews back in the day. 4 value trades in large caps. See, there's an example. That was 2010. Maybe they've changed their ways. Short seller tactics, health insurance. I'm not getting a feel for this. This isn't kind of my style of investing here. It doesn't mean they're wrong about select interior, but high moat non-cyclical business. Formed via merger of 2 Trive. A today's share price of 11. I believe investors are offered the most asymmetric. Wow, so that's kind of changed. Down 40% since then. So their most important valuable asset is ASG. All right, now I'm kind of intrigued here. The company recently announced strategic alternatives after a push from Oh, that's a different activist. ADW Capital. Do they still own it? Pulling up, just checking out the DEF in 2020. This is where I'll do a quick check of the beneficial owners. Are they not even owners anymore, that activist group? How could they not be owners? This was last year. ASG, ADW Capital, really? Can't be. You're kidding me. Is there an older one I can pull up? Let's pull up 2019. Are they here? Oh, they sold out. Interesting. Oh, and B. Riley and Gateway were already big holders of this company, and ADW was the activist. See what I mean? Like, what's going on here? And then we're trying to develop a narrative. They were bigger holders. They owned a quarter of the company. These Gateway Security and B. Riley, and ADW was the one trying to mix things up. Kind of weird. Here's their announcement. We lost it. It was on Yahoo. Okay. And ADW's out now. You know what I mean? Like maybe they didn't like what they see. That's weird because if you're aligned with some other investors like B. Riley and the other one, Gateway, why wouldn't you stick around? Can't they get involved and start? You got enough equity. You own 30% of the company, whatever. So that makes me think maybe they didn't like what they were seeing. Oh, there's a lot that was no, because that was that DEF was on April 20th, or roughly. You know what I mean? So much happened this year. I can't, like I've been saying, I don't blame anyone for selling out of their positions in Q1 and Q2 just because so much stuff was moving. There's plenty of other opportunities out there. But okay, most valuable, important value loss. There's ASG, the company's stone distribution business. It's an importer-exporter. This is one of the highest quality distribution businesses I've ever come across. Wow, that's high moat business. Benefits of scale in the logistically complex stone distribution. There's other stone. Aren't there other stone building products companies? I'm pretty sure. One of them, isn't the ticker Rock? Is that a bold claim? I don't think so. Gibraltar or something? Gibraltar Steel? What's their business? They do rock? Or is it just the ticker? You know what I mean? Manufacturers of building products. Operates in the renewable energy, conservation, residential products. Rocks. Any rocks? No. All right, so I just got thrown off by the ticker. All right. I don't know if I really feel like reading any more of this. I don't know what the upside is. Who's commenting on it? Anyone commenting on it? Like I kind of need to see more than this. I don't want to read that. I could read articles all day. You know what I mean? You need to have some. Oh, look at this. Someone commented on this. This was so the ADW now holds exactly 0 shares as of December 2019. So they sold out before this year. There you go. So that's a little bit concerning to me because you had some equity support, some shareholder support from other people who had a good chunk, B. Riley in particular, And they're like, nah, this ain't going to work out, and got out. I could have sworn Solace Capital was in some other stuff. All right, but anyway, we see they have control. They have control of this company, these two, B. Riley and Gateway Securities Holdings, whoever they are, number 8. I've never seen them before. Oh, that's Solace. I've seen Solace before, so they're not hidden, but it's a different fund maybe that owns them. I'm not usually aligned with these folks. This could be a successful investment, but I think I'm gonna pass on this and not dig in any deeper. For better or worse, watch. It'll double, and then you'll be seeing me. I'll be adding it to the missed opportunity list. Oh yeah, do I still have that? Oh yeah, I still have that. I got to add more to this. Oh well, hopefully PRT is not a forever missed opportunity list. Oh, there's so many more to add to this. Matador was one, and Tentacle a little bit because I get that stop loss issue. Remember that? Did I say Kirk? I did say Kirk. There's like 3 or 4 other. Oh, Michaels. I mean, Michaels. I got in the portfolio right. There's a couple others, right? No, I can't remember. We'll add more. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Keep going. Clean it up. Clean it up. Okay. All right. Now we get open. Look at this. 820. Yes. We can do whatever the hell we want. We can do whatever we want. What do we want to do? Is the daily? How about the dash? All right, let me just check out the dash here. Let's go. Let's keep going over to the buy list. That's something we haven't done in a while, huh? Most of these buy lists are, most of these companies in the buy list are currently in the portfolio, so we're probably already dialed into them, but there was almost like a good reminder. See, this is kind of clunky. What am I going to do? Pull this up every time? It's hard maintaining this list and keeping your eye on it. It's like just kind of clunky. What's CDEV doing, by the way? This one looked interesting. It was insider buying. Oh, this could be a good time to add. What do you think? Yeah. What do you think of this one? Oh, now I'm happy I got this buy list. Here I am shitting on it. And I'm like, oh, damn, clutch. I forgot about that one. Oh, yeah, Clipper Realty. Didn't they have a lot of insider buying? They did. Look at that. A ton. Wow, has this been in there that long? They bought 900K at just below 6. Chairman of the board, too. Realty, but I was just like, not that. I'm like, eh. Anyone own it? That's right. So some of these we can look at these with a new lens because we can pull up what funds we're holding as of June 30th. Sam Levins. Oh, someone's got control. He's the one who bought? Oh shit, he's the one who bought. He's got control of the company. He bought more. I mean, as a percentage of his ownership, it's a fraction of it. You see what I mean? He owns 50% of the company. Is that real? And I see 2 bistressers. Okay, so is this like family control? Is that what this is? Oh, wow. Sam Levinson, 20%. All executives and directors. All right, they own 37%. They're in. That's a good chunk. 37% is a good chunk. You want the more the better, generally speaking. And then you see this 5%. They look at see how the family, they got control of this shit. Prograde, American Financial Group, Forward, Signature, I don't know any of these names though, huh? Bistro, okay, so it's their company. All right. Let's pull that one up too. Because it's not in the portfolio. We haven't seen that name yet. Pull that up. CNR. I added to that just in time. Oh, Baytex. We just added to this too. Okay, what's this one doing? Just bobbing around. bobbing around, bobbing around. You know what I mean? So I've been trimming some of this energy position, but this is the type that I might add a little bit more into. We know that Buffett just added that small position in Suncor. You know what I mean? I was talking about how someone like him, such a long-term investor, you think he'd just be like, I'm done with oil sands, but he's still dabbling even right now. So that's at least a tad bullish for me for that industry. Much better longer-term thinker than I am. ASPS. Oh, this one's bouncing back, huh? This one's bouncing back. This was the one we were looking at. We were getting, yeah, that's right. Did I ever add to this? Oh, shit. I can't remember. We looked at this a couple of streams ago, so this is a good opportunity. Let me check this off again. This one in, what was the, in Resi, R-E-S-I. Remember they were like both tied at the hip? Yeah. I think we might add to this one. Okay. ASPS. Okay, let's go look through here. Okay, I get those pull up. Any others to pull up? BTE, nah. CNR, no. CVGI, that one's, it's hanging in there, right? I keep on waiting for it to pull back. It's already a big position, but it's going to hang up there. Damn. You never know. What's DBD doing? I have this in a different portfolio, different account. It still looks good. I was looking to trim it, but I'm just like, oh, it still looks good. The DBD does ATM machines, like the, what's it called? Diebold, right there. You see it in their name. Diebold Nixdorf or something. It's a foreign company. I think it's a foreign company. Nixdorf. It's got to be. But super leveraged, and it was always. I looked at it in 2018, and then it crushed it. I don't think I bought it though. Then it pulled back, and then I used this as an opportunity. I'm like, all right, I'll put some back on. This kind of looks bull. And then they were buying too, weren't they buying? Should I be adding to this? No, they're not buying much. They're buying in March though. Like to see that, right? You like to see that shit buying in March. You know what I mean? Not that much though. And is anyone talking about it? I should have that link to Seeking Alpha right there. Damn it. I don't know who that is. Damian Roberts. I don't recognize any of these folks. All right, what's this? This is when they did they pop? They raised their full year free cash flow outlook. See, for a company like this, I'd be like, I think did they turn over their management team? That you need to see because you need to be more of in a deleveraging state. They expect free cash flow of 20 to 30 million. All right, so this is something. They actually gave a forecast. They said 20 to 30 million. And they don't have. If you're so leveraged though, is that true free cash flow? You know what I mean? You got to make sure you have enough, generally speaking, to eventually pay off the debt. You got to cover interest costs. So of course, this should at least take into account interest payments. They were previously forecasting break even, so now they're forecasting much higher than they previously did. Okay. Reported record quarterly adjusted EBITDA. What? They reported adjusted EBITDA, right? Non-GAAP gross margin, and whoa, shit. Whoa. In Q2? What? Adjusted EBITDA rose 15% year over year? How can that be? ATMs? It's ATMs, right? Gross margin was 27%, up from 24% in last year's quarter. Oh, we got to look into this. Doesn't this have a lot of upside too? They bought a lot in 2018, didn't they? They bought a shit ton. So this is what I remember. I remember that the stock price bottom, and then they went boom, 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 buying a ton in 2019. At prices higher than this. Look at this. So I need a damn highlighter. I need to circle stuff. You know what I mean? Even that damn cat. Even if I have this thing. Oh, that's Evernote. I thought that was my. Did I reboot the computer? This would be something. All right, I turned this up. I have this, but this isn't. This is. It's kind of funny, but is it useful? Is it useful? Because that's not enough. I need to be able to adjust the size and stuff that I want to circle. But here you go. Let's this is, but because I want to show that it doesn't matter. Who cares? But they were buying a shit ton. Here's the gist. Let me save you the trouble. They're buying hundreds of thousands in 2018, but more in 2019 at prices well above this, 9s and 10s, and then they went a little bit quiet. Then they started buying more late last year. Same dude, looks like a lot of the same dude, Ulrich Maher. Oh, this is his biggest purchase. When was that? November of 2019. Oh, I didn't buy any more this year? That's too bad. And they're not buying quite as much these days. But yeah, see, they've pulled back on their insider buying. But still. Oh, shit. So they crushed it in Q2, huh? Not too many companies did, right? And it's all adjusted, right? This isn't clean, but I don't care to the extent that I care about they reported like beats in year-over-year improvements compared to other companies. I don't remember. What company did we just look at? It was a Fossil, down 48% year-over-year. Like, 48%? What the hell is going on? All right. So, yeah. Okay. Well, what can I say? I got to look into this. I wish there was more insider buying. And does there anyone own it? Oh, shit. Bill Miller? Son of a... Bill Miller. There you go. This is his. Is this his personal trust? I cross paths with Bill Miller a bit. I think and I also noticed I didn't read much Bill Miller when I was younger, although I think he has some famous books out. But I have a little bit in common with him in that I remember him being like bullish on Bitcoin, right? And I'm bullish on Bitcoin strictly from a technical analyst standpoint. You know what I mean? Like, value investors like, I can't value a blah blah blah, and it's a bubble and all this stuff. They may be right, but just from a technical analyst standpoint, I think it's me trying to diversify my skill sets, right? What the hell is Bitcoin doing again? Oh yes, I added that so I can just type it. Like, and how many value investors have said that they're bullish on Bitcoin? You know what I mean? I forget when he said it. He actually said it much earlier than I did, because I don't remember. He may have said it years ago. He said it's gonna. Is that real? Is that random ass? This is a random ass YouTube video. I don't know if that. Did he really say it's gonna be 300,000? Still a bill on June. Oh, so he's bullish still. I haven't been tracking. Isn't he? Aren't they long Gamestop? Actually, that's not true. They run Miller Value Partners, and I came across something that they had written because he was bullish on Gamestop too, for the very same simplistic things that you can come across in the thesis, right? And you think he's so great and everything like that, so he must have a more complex thesis, or maybe no one thinks that. I'm making that up, but I'm just like, yeah, that's the thesis. That's it. I feel like Bill Miller keeps it simple, but maybe he's more bullish from. Is he more bullish on it from a use case? I'm not. I have no clue. Okay, so he's bullish on it for different reasons. It looks like. I don't know. Damn, I just wanted to see that. I could have sworn years ago. So this is all 2020. It's all new stuff. But didn't he talk about it like back in the day? Here you go. Believes in book. Legendary CIO invests 50. What? This is what I'm talking about. Is this real? Did he invest 50% of his money invested in Bitcoin? Recently stated on the podcast Wealth Track. Oh, that's a legit podcast, isn't it? Wealth Track? That around half of the money from his hedge funds, Miller Partners, or $1.1 billion, is currently invested in Bitcoin. There you go. Who does that? That's nuts, right? Well, that's not Bill Miller. You may not know this, but that's don't confuse yourself. That's not Bill Miller. 50%. All right, I'm not that bullish, dude. I mean, this was back in the day, right? And this was December 2017, so it may have been after a huge run up where it went up gigantic. Maybe he was leveraged too. Maybe had some options on it. It was up big, just like I think that's what's happening with Bari's portfolio with those Google calls. I think he just timed it right, and they're up 10x or 100x or whatever the hell it is. And maybe that's what happened with Bill Miller. But see what I mean? What value investors do this? And he was, I don't know if he was ridiculed, but probably in the value world, they're probably like, what the hell? 50% though. Did he really believe in it? What did he have to say about it? What we're studying is ways we can mitigate risk to the overall fund. It won't be 50% of the fund for that much longer, which does not mean necessarily that we're going to be selling it. All right, okay. This is just me being curious, like stuff like that. And I remember thinking, all right, they don't see many value investors talk like that. But then there's been other companies too Not even forget the GameStop one. I came across that by chance that I saw he was invested in GameStop, right? Shit. Nothing recent. Yeah, I don't care. So wow, so he's in this one. Did he? And he just added this. He's got 10% from July 2020, and I'm pretty sure this is his. Is that not his family trust? I think it's his family trust because Miller Value Partners is what you would say. Quad. So Quad, he and I, he went heavy into Quad late February 20th or something, and it was for his. You'll see it right there. Right here, Miller William Trust. And he what was that, February 20th, nailed it. And he owns 8.5%. And so this is a super leveraged company, but legitimate cash flows, and they used to pay a dividend. So it's controlled by this family, the Quadrachis or something. And then there's another one too that not many other people own, but he owned it. And I'm like, because I had questions about credit risk. I'm like, if he does it, I'm sure he makes mistakes, right? It's not like it's a definite win, but I'll take notice, and I like that company, Bill Miller. He's a famous, wasn't he? Like Buffett talks him up too. Like Mason, he's like Mason, right? Shit. So we got something. We got something here. Oh, 32% of his portfolio. So let me just check this again. There you go. I mean, of the reported portfolio within his trust, right? There's nuance to take into consideration here. But okay, so let's check this though. The market value. Whoa, he has a huge position in Pitney Bowes. Really? What's he doing? Pitney Bowes? Aren't they don't do the? He's done a lot of these like These companies are all. That's new. August 3rd. He just filed the 13G. I missed these. Oh, there's Miller Value Partners right there. Oh, sorry, you can't see it. Right there. That's his firm. I think. I'm not. This is. I looked at it. I looked into it once, and you can actually see their holdings. Although one time I swear I did this. I didn't see GameStop. Then I'm like, do I have the right? I just want to check. I've been thinking that this is his fund. I mean, it has to be. I know it is, but GameStop is there, and he trimmed it a little bit. It's such a. That's what caught my attention because they had written on it, but it was such a small percentage of the portfolio. But maybe it changed. No, that's really small. So that's the fund. Wait, is it in the fund? It should be in the. But why? That's what I mean. Like what? Oh, DVD is in the fund. Wait, where are we? Okay, DVD is one of their top positions in the fund, and they bought more in Q2. They bought more in Q2. See this? They bought 240K. They increased their position 8%. And what about Pitney Bowes right here? Pitney Bowes right below. So he's got it in his. So that's the thing. So he invests in the fund, and then he also, I'm pretty sure it's his personal trust, family trust or something. And then he goes, all right, this is going to go in my family's trust as well. And they're like huge cash flow generators, but risky. And, oh man, there's a lot of overlap here. Quotient Technology. I don't even know some of these names. Am I not tracking? I need to track this. Is this in my funds that oh, that's something we could do today. Oh yeah, we didn't do this yet. Track all these, oh shit. This is not enough time in the day. We got all these updated portfolios. I don't think Miller Value's here. There you go. I gotta add it. Let's do it right now. Boom. I'm going to put it in the first one. All right. Okay, let's just check out DBD. Let's do this real quick. ASPS. All right, oh yeah, CDV. Is that one worth adding? Hold on just quick. I just needed to see the insider buy. I don't think they've added since June on this. May. There was this firm that was adding in May below $1, and now we're below the price that they were adding at. You know what I mean? See that shit? Shit. Did anyone talk about this? Hold on. We'll come back. We'll come back to DBD. Shit. Anyone say anything about this? But I should also check. I don't have Twitter linked here, but we should check on Twitter for something like this. There's probably not going to be many people talking about it. It's so small. Shit, not much. All right, damn. I just want to close out of this. I just want to do some quick checks before I do. Oh, did you also see? Well, now I just thought of this. I'm on. I don't want to. DVD. We'll get to DVD, but there was a GameStop article posted today while I'm doing this, and they were talking about options, which I liked the new angle. It was a decent article too. They were talking about the some of the risks related to the stock, and for the most part, it was on point. Who the hell is this company though? Riverstone Holdings. I don't know any of the other funds. What is this again? See, I'm all over the place. I'm talking about like 5 things at once. No one owns it except for this fund. Who the hell are they? Whoa, trippy. It's kind of cool, huh? Yeah, let's just chill. Let's just kick back. Watch this shit. Nice. That's not a bad website, huh? I don't know what they do, but about founded in 2000, so been around right there. If you've been around a while, you know what I mean? If you're a new fund, you're like, yeah, okay, but you've been around a while, you've seen some things, you've seen some shit. It was founded in 2000. Wow. Oh, you know what did I mention? I'm watching The Sopranos right now. I somehow haven't seen The Sopranos before, and it's cool because that first season or the second season is like 99 2000, and they're like it's like tech bubble time, and like one of the episodes is dedicated to Carmelo like getting involved in investing and stuff like that. And it's interesting because it aired like in March and April, right as the tech bubble was peaking and stuff, and so it's kind of and they had a chop shop. And one of the episodes too, a couple of the episodes anyway, it was just kind of interesting. And speaking of 2000, because I checked the date that it was released, I thought, oh, that's sick. Since inception, we've raised over $40 billion. All right, what do you do though? What's your strategy? Platform investment strategies, ability to invest across subsectors and capital structure globally. Since inception, we've built 4 investment platforms. Oh, what the hell? I don't know. I don't know what they do. It looks like they're legitimate. They're not some. It looks like they're a real fund. They're a real firm. I have no idea. We can see their other holdings. That could be helpful. Let's do that. Shit. There's no other holdings. Shit. What else they got? Eneva, Talos. I do know Talos. And look at these. So they take. This is the thing. This is what stood out to me. Now I remember because so far I haven't found anything. I'm like, I don't know anything. They own 30% of the company. They own 30%, but do they own the debt too? How much debt does CDE have? Because if they own the debt, do they have publicly traded debt? I don't think they do. What's the name of the company? Centennial Resource Development. Wait a second. What was the name of that company? Didn't they have Centennial in their name? Oh, shit. Is there one and the same? What's going on? What's this? Is that the same thing? Oh, shit. Is it like their own? Is it their own company? Did they take it public? And they're a private equity firm too, right? But they're buying back more. This looks terrible. Look at this chart. Still looks terrible. Oh shit. What are they doing? What do you do? What do you do here? What do you do? Did I X out of that? Yeah, here we go. I still got it open. Oh, that was sick. Shift Command T. Shift Command T. Bring it back up. I kind of want to see LaPierre. Oh, I looked up this before, and I remember thinking, is this the same guy from that ticker OI? Or IO? Because La Pierre. Is it the same name? Spelled a little bit different. But I remember looking into it. Are these people related? Do they have some experience? Does this family have experience? I don't think they're related. I think I looked it up. But I thought it might have been the same guy. Shit. What am I looking for here? I want to see, like, do they list Centennial? Is it their own company? That's what I'm trying to... There you go. So see this. A 20-year history of investing across the entire energy value chain globally. Key facts. Portfolio company since inception. This is one of their portfolio companies. Is that their name, Centennial, in there? I don't know. Damn it. What to do? Well, let's pull up the fundamentals just real quick. I'm not gonna forget. We're looking at DBD. I wanted to ASPS. Keep that up. Let me close out of the universe. I'm about to slow down the damn stream. Quad. I haven't seen anything happening on quad. That was my thing. All right, where the hell is it? Here? There it is. See what we got. But it's in the portfolio, so I definitely I liked what I saw. Let's see what I saw. I saw the insider buying. I saw the chart. Looked terrible. Sometimes terrible isn't always terrible is often a bad thing, but to get it in the portfolio, you're adding to you're initiating a position when the chart looks terrible. As a value investor, that tends to be what you're doing, right? It's like it looks terrible, you're like you got to step in because that's often when it's the cheapest, and then it bounces back and pulls back and blah blah blah. But you usually step it in, and then you can build into the position as things unfold, either as time passes or as the price gets cheaper. Although if you're buying as the price gets cheaper, you need to be damn sure. You need to be sure on the balance sheet, and you need to be sure it's strong in the business model and stuff like that. But that's often when you make the most money, is that when you buy in, like when the chart looks ugly and stuff, but then it keeps getting cheaper. But because you have high conviction, you can keep averaging down. But oftentimes you shouldn't average down. It's a tough call. It just depends on the type of position. Anyway, so as time passes, though, like with GameStop, the GameStop, it's been doing nothing for like 12 months, right? Now this is either a tremendous opportunity to have been adding over time, which is what I've been doing, or this is it. It's never going to bounce again, right? And then it's like whatever. But what you can also be doing is adding as the price starts rising. So I kind of like, part of me is almost like I see this chart, right? It's like a good, like it's kind of basing here a little bit. It's a good opportunity to add right here, but I might add again. I kind of want to wait for it to like break out. Like I see this with PBF right now. Like PBF is a top. It's already a top position. What is it? I need a link. I need a link that gets me right back to the Roaring Kitty portfolio at all times. I hate scrolling. PBF is number 10. It's top 10 position, and it hasn't done anything, right? And I want to add more because this is what I'm talking about. I see this, and I'm like, time to add. And I did add in July. I already added. But it's time to add again. But now I'm just like, well, something's going to happen. This is what they talk about, like dead money. You got capital, you got precious capital in your hands. Do you want to put it in a stock that might just be doing nothing for a while? Now, the value investor in you is like, who cares? Who cares if it does nothing for a while, blah, blah, blah. And that's a fair point. But if other things look more compelling, unless things look super compelling, PBF, I think it's like a double or a triple. It doesn't look crazy like 5-bagger compelling, but and it's already a big position, so it's like hard to justify continuing to add until I'm like, all right, just break out already. I mean, it didn't really break out here. Everything was breaking out at this time, right? Excuse me, jeez. Maybe this beer will help me with that. So anyway, that's what I see with CDEV too. Same thing. It's kind of leveling off here. Plus, the energy's been looking kind of weak, but it seems to be holding up okay. We've seen some shitty looking energy charts, but this seems okay. And then, okay, so what did I see in the fundamentals? Look at this. Okay, so look at this. It's 76 cents. 76 cents. Okay, let's try this. 76 cents. This is, I know you can't see it, but this is stupid. This is a tangible book value of $10. Like, what? And so you see this, you see it lit up. Real revenues too, 769 in revenues. This is a real energy company, even though you think penny stock, right? 76 cents, but this isn't. Many of my energy positions, a good number of them are much smaller than this. I think that could be a bold claim. I'm not sure. But so you see this tangible book to price right here. Trades at 13. The book value is 13 times larger than the price right now. So if you invert that, which I always need to, got to grab the graphic calculator for this. I always forget. That's about 7. Trades at 7% a book. Now, yeah, what is these energy companies? Book value is always suspect, right? That goes hand in hand. But what was I saying this with Antero Resources? Trades at a fraction of its book. And again, you'd say, well, that's because book hasn't. It should be written down and it hasn't been yet. But if you're trading at 7% of book, unless the book is going to be wiped out, you're trading at a discount. And I think Antero is like trades at like $3 or $4, and it's got book value of like 20 or $24. You know what I mean? Trading at 20% of book value. Write it down. But you'd still be tradable a book. That's what I mean. A thesis can be that simple. There's other variables at play here, but when I see that and I see this is very clearly what I saw. This is June 30th, 2020. It's up to date. It's another quarterly thing here. I'm gonna end up doing this over time. This sucks. I'll do it off stream. Excuse me. Sorry, the lawn mowing got me. I'll do it off stream where I'll fix this. It will take me 10 minutes, but it's the tedious work is starting to get to me. Shit. I forgot the quote. At least it fixes quick. I think it should fix quick. Shit. Come on. What did I do? I fixed it, didn't I? Sorry. Precious time. Equals Baba. Let me try this. 1 equals quote. Boom. Got it. Let's do it. There we go. Okay, so so this is looks a tad more, not precarious. Precarious is not the right word, but I have a shorter history to work with. It increases the risk. I got 20 years of history. I feel much more comfortable with the position, especially with an energy company. So this is like a growth type energy company. It's like really in the early stages, getting walloped here a bit with everything that's happened in the energy industry over the past 12 months. Look at the share. You see the share count rising, but now it's kind of flatlined. This must be their company. Is it their company and they took it public? It's good that they're buying shit. If they weren't buying, I sure wish they were buying right now. But again, so much going on. Okay, look at this EBITDA too. Look at this. Sorry, I can't see EBITDA. Almost $2. $2. So it's price. I mean, this is what I mean. It's too bad we can't find a damn. No bonds. I know they got bonds. Try that. Oh, is I because I typed it in. What if I do it this way? That's it, right? Centennial Resource. Is that the name? Does it get resource in the name? Centennial Resource Development. Centennial Resource Production. Yeah, that's it. Oh, look at the. Okay, so it's traded in the 40s right now. Sick. All right, let me just change that. I just want to get it down to. So they have some. Wow, that's not that. I mean, that's bad, right? 40s are bad. 40s, you're being priced for bankruptcy. But those are in 2027. That's bad, but it's not awful. The yield is 25%. You know what I mean? That's not. It's not 50% or 100%. It's bad, but. What's the bond price has been doing? Holy Toledo! Look at this. It was at par at the beginning of this year. Par. So that's a good sign, right? It's not like it was trending downward over the past couple of years. It's been crushed. Wow. 100. Oh, this is not a bad setup. This isn't bad. They went from 23 to 60, back down to 40. Which is still well above where it was. Okay. And how about the other one? I'm going to see the same thing, right? 2027. All right. Okay. And book value 9, book value not doing great, but look at this. Look at this. Look at these metrics. Did it really earn 63 cents and 29 cents? just a couple of years ago. And so now it's just a question of the debt. And the debt, okay, now we got to look at the balance sheet. What else can I say? What is this stuff? Notice of effect. Oh, what was it? What did they do? Shit. This looks interesting, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It's like scary cheap. You know what I mean? But those bonds are still only in the four. What is it that they did? They what is it? S3. Did they issue some securities? What'd they do? Oh, they're about to be delisted. Shit. Oh, what are they gonna do? Has no immediate effect on the listing. They have until February 18th to regain compliance. All right. So what's the plan? Reverse? Who cares? I mean, what does it matter? Reverse split. I always intends to actively monitor the closing bid and will evaluate available options to regain compliance. Shit. Oh, it trades on the NASDAQ for an energy company. They're in the Delaware Basin. Okay. That's a little bit more of a core Delaware Basin pure play. Not a total expert. It's a sub-basin of the Permian Basin in the west. Okay. It's just a question. Now it's just a question of, does anyone like these reserves? Like, remember when we were looking at Sandridge? So Sandridge, remember that story of like Carl Icahn getting involved in stuff, and people were apparently bidding on those assets. People wanted them back in the day, and that conveys to me that not necessarily higher quality assets, but that people wanted them. And if people want them, then there's a potential for a buyout. And I don't know if that's likely with Sandridge, but it increases the chances that it's worth quite a bit more than its current price point. And at least there's a story there. I don't really have much of a story yet. I don't know. I'm not an expert on the Delaware Basin per se. If someone would make it a bid, but the fact that the insiders are buying, you know what I mean? It's a little bit of a story because they're like, this is probably crazy cheap, and we see the prices and the fundamentals. But oh, they got a presentation. Sick. Oh, let's do this because that looks scary cheap. When I see something like that, that's what I mean. Like sometimes we'll come across a company in these daily movers and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it looks interesting. Like Fossil, for example. I'm like, we dug into it a little bit, but I'm like, I'm not gonna pencil through because what is it gonna be, a double or something? But this is like 5-bagger potential. Then I'm like, let's do it. All right, so this was their Q2 release on August 3rd. How did the stock price react? It popped, and now it's back down. Sick. It popped a little bit, right? 80 cents to 90 cents. Come on, call that a pop. Okay, what'd they say? Reduced capex? No shit. LOU implemented plant executed debt exchange. They did a debt exchange. Sick. Seeing so many debt exchanges with all these companies, right? If you just want it to be done already, right? Reducing total senior note debt by... Oh, did they do it at discounted prices? Sick. That's what got us involved with... not involved with, I already had it in the portfolio, but why we added to Forum, to FET, F-E-T. Where's all their press releases? Come on. Oh, if they were able to wipe out some debt at discount prices. Here we go. Commencement of exchange offers and consents. Oh, shit, so they did it too. I missed this. For any and all outstanding senior institute. Oh shit, these are the bonds we were just looking at. This was in April. Oh, right in the heat of it. You know what I mean? Tough environment. You feel for who was it? Baytex. Remember BTE? They not a bond exchange, but they refinanced in January, right before everything collapsed. You're like, whew, just in time. But all these other firms, Gamestop included, it's like, oh, how did you not take care of this already? Here we go. To exchange any and all their outstanding senior notes to 2026. Those are still outstanding though, right? Yeah, that's them. So there's still some outstanding. Maybe no. With the other, exchange these ones and together with the old 2026 notes for up to any and all of their outstanding the 2026 notes and the 2027 notes for up to 250 million aggregate principal amount of newly issued 8% second lien notes. Senior secured. Are those outstanding? Oh, is this them? Wait, when does it do? Due 2025. 8%. That's them. So they're trading. There we go. And they traded 84. but they got it done. So they got some of them done. The fact that we still see ratings and prices on these, not everyone exchanged. Okay, here we go. Aggregate outstanding principal amount. Like, I want to see early exchange considering if tendered and not withdrawn. Total principal amount of new notes. Look at that. So they got the haircut, 50% haircut. So there was a $1,000 principal amount for the previous bonds, and they're saying if you do the early consideration, we'll give you $500 of the new notes. So I believe they're wiping out half of the debt in their kind of. But the reason you might do it if you're a bondholder, right, is because, well, you don't want to get zero. You might not want to go into bankruptcy. Sometimes you do. It just depends. But this is a way for these bond exchanges. These distressed bond exchanges are a way for companies to buy back the debt, refinance at discount prices, and the bondholders take a haircut. I mean, the shareholders have taken a haircut too, right? But now there's a potential for upside. And then if you do the late exchange, they offered $450. We saw Forum Energy, FET, did it at what price? They did it like $35 to $40. So they were able to do it at even bigger discounts. Okay, so they did that, and then how much was tendered? They said up to $250 total, though, right? For up to $250 million of aggregate principal. So there was no way they were going to exhaust, because there's 900. There's 900 million. Oh, that's a lot, isn't it? Almost $1 billion in debt. Can I see these total figures, aggregate figures? What I'm going to look at is scroll over. Oh, good. And then I want to see this total debt column right here. There you go. Yeah, they had $1 billion. Oh, now they're up to $1 billion as of June 30th. Doesn't that just seem like you have $1 billion in debt and you have $770 million in revenues, not free cash flow, not earnings, revenues. And of course, the thinking here is that revenues are going to grow as energy prices, right? But that's like a good, like a metric, like revenues to total debt. It's like, you don't even have enough revenues to cover your debt. Just 1 year. I get that, right? But it's just a rule of thumb that catches my I have it here for one of my metrics. I have it here. Yeah, it's right here. So remember this calculator? I showed in one of my videos, but revenues to net common overhang. This isn't just total debt. This is all long-term liabilities plus short-term debt. And look, it's lit up red. See? That stuck out to me. Oh, that's a lot of debt. That's a lot of debt. How much did they exchange? Let's see. Let's back out of this. So that was when they announced it, right? Announced its extension of early tender date. That's what Gamestop had to do too. They're like hoping people. Announced its termination. Announced its expiration. Announced its settlement. Just jump to this. This was a month passed. Announced the final settlement of the previously announced exchange offers, whereby CRP, Centennial Resource Production, it's operating subsidiary. Yep. These companies, they got all the look. If you look in there, 10K, you see all the operating structure and stuff. They're all over the place with the names. Okay. What was the conclusion? Second lien secure notes due 2025 and up to. Sorry, am I reading too fast for myself? For up to $250 million of the aggregate principal. Second lien senior notes due 2025 and up to. Of new 8% due 20 and up to $200 million aggregate principal amount of newly issued 8% third lien senior secured notes due 2027. Are those out there? Is that these ones? Oh, I missed that in the first one. Oh, no, that can't be those ones. Can it? Why would it go back to 2019? Is this it? All right. Well, what's the conclusion here? I mentioned an accepted tender offer from 110 million aggregate principal amount of old 200 of 2026 notes and 140. Oh, so they got their 250. That's what they offered to buy back, and they got up to 250 and 150 to 2027 notes in consideration for aggregate consideration consists of 127 million. So they halved it. Since the aggregate principal amount of issued second liens did not exceed the maximum second lien exchange, CRP did not issue third. Oh, they didn't even issue the third lien notes. There we go. So they were only going to issue them if the people who were interested to do the bond exchange were greater than the 250, but they didn't have to. Okay. I'm not an expert on these types of things. I'm still like trying to learn. This is kind of why I'm reading through it. I hope it's educational for you, but there's been a lot of bond exchanges this year, like way more than I've ever come across. Of course, I'm tracking more companies too, but I'm trying to learn. And plus, it gets my attention. I mean, it's a huge value add to be able to wipe out this debt at these discount prices. Of course, you're in a tough position to even get to do this, but if you come out the other side, it could be a huge boon. Okay, so following the settlement, 645 aggregate principal amount of old notes remain outstanding. A second will have not and will not be registered. Okay, so they just registered those notes. Okay, all right. Let me just check out those fundamentals. Where's that total debt figure? Oh, sorry, I just want to see that. What was that total debt last quarter or this quarter? Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong damn thing. Oh, let me move this damn spreadsheet over. It's confusing me. Time 908. Okay. Total debt, 1.1 billion. Shit. Just want to see the balance sheet. What's that balance sheet look like? Should have already had that open already. You know what I mean? What's this? That's not the balance sheet, is it? Oh, it might be. No, that's the announcement. All right, so they did that bond exchange. All right, so now let's just jump into the earnings release. Let's see what they say. Reduce cost, okay. Implemented, yep. Executed debt, reducing total senior note debt. See that? They reduced total senior note debt by 127 million. Gone. The bondholders had to take a haircut if they wanted to go this path. Currently stimulating 5 drilled. Okay. Reduced total capital budget. Yep. Expect to be essentially cash flow neutral for the remainder of the year. Okay. It's not bad. For the second quarter, they reported net income. There's probably some idiosyncrasies there. Second quarter was the most challenging to protect the balance sheet. Drastically reduced CapEx. We also implemented a series of cost reduction. Minimize cash. Second quarter operating results. All right, what's the outlook? Plan targets. I don't care about any of this. May 22nd. We could have just scrolled down. Shit. They got a highlight. They got a summary of the exchange results right here. 250 whereby holders of 254 million of the company's 900 million senior notes sitting. Oh, it's exchanged their notes for 127 million. See that? It's nice. As a result, 900 million in senior unsecured notes was reduced by 250 million to 264. The debt exchange resulted in overall reduction to the company's total principal amount. There you go. And lowered future interest expense. Wow. Okay, here we go. The comparison between recent periods of total principal debt. Okay. What's going on with that figure? How come we saw 1.1 billion? What's this? It's bizarre. Okay, but now we're at 1 times revenue, which is still... Where the hell are we getting? I don't feel like looking into it. This is accurate. Forget the spreadsheet. How dare you? There's a June 30th Centennial had 7.2 million in cash, 370 million. Oh, and 370 million of borrowings under its... Oh, they got 370 million under its revolver. Oh, there you go. That's how you get to $1 billion. That total debt is including the revolver, as it should. I mean, it's a little bit different of a debt, but it's still debt. You got to pay that off. During the quarter, the company borrowed 135 million. Oh, jeez. They're in a tough position. I think I'm going to add. I only wish. You're not going to see anyone buying this thing though, because they own the whole thing. Oh, let's just check this presentation real quick. Oh, it's the same thing. Oh, can I just jump? Oh, it's not that long of a presentation. Good. Macro environment, blah, blah, blah. Executed debt exchange, amended credit facility to replace total leverage covenant through year-end 2021 with first lien. All right, so they took care of some covenant issues. That's always something you got to be careful. I do my best, but I can't. It's hard for me to pinpoint those covenant figures, covenant metrics each quarter. But the covenant, you trip a covenant, and then that will kind of force you into bankruptcy. I've seen it so many times, so I'm like hyper aware. I do my best to be hyper aware of what the covenants are, but they're tough to calculate because you gotta. That's a lot goes into it. All right, there's what am I? There's not that I'm gonna. I mean, I know some people like look at this stuff and are experts on it. Not me. I'm a generalist, and there's a nice graphic. Oh, I'm looking at the damn earnings releases. It's still educational. I do it for the education, but you can look at this stuff here. There's a nice graphic if you wanted to learn more. I may pull this back up later. I don't know if Forum Energy had one like this, but this is nice. You see the interest expense went down. Like bond, you see a successful bond exchange. They got it across. I think GameStop's was a resounding success. I think because they got rid of some covenants and they had just enough to get the deal done. But look at this, 127 million deduction, but still in a tough spot. No note maturities until 2025. I like that highlight. And so you see they talk about some figures here. First lien debt. The gist is they're in a tough spot. But we get the risks. Yeah, second half to be funded with cash flow. Oh, this is a mess. But this is a mess, so I'm going to add... What I like, I'd like. No one's talking about it. Let me just see this balance sheet. No one buys the value of the assets, right? No one. You traded 7% of tangible book. That might be the lowest I've seen of a company that remains publicly traded. It's like, what the hell? Wait, where's that revolver? Is this CDEF? Where's that revolver? Long-term debt, 1.1 billion. Oh, did they include it as 1.1? Maybe they included it in long-term debt. Whatever. But boy, if the value of the assets is again, even if it's just a fraction, of what's book value? Scroll over. Tangible book 2.7. You know what I mean? And what's the market cap right now? 211. Wow, that's not nothing. I mean, Forum is way smaller than that. Oh, I kind of like that. Oh, excuse me. I wanted to do 64 million. You know what I mean? That's this is interesting to me. It's 200 million for a market cap? I'm going to add to this. You know what I mean? If you're in really damn Yahoo Finance. We got places to be. We can't be wasting time. 212? You know what this price reminds me of? Is it G4? Was that the one trading in the gutter? Yep, look at that. I nailed it. It had bounced back strongly. Oh, it's really coming back. Oh, I didn't like that. Oh, they didn't break to new highs. Oh, jeez. I mean, this is high risk play. Make no mistake about it. But chart looks interesting right here at support. You don't want to see it break down. 200 million market cap. That's legit. You know what I mean? Like a company like this, a penny stock, right? You see it below $1, but all this debt to revenue too, and Permian Basin. And then what's one final thing I want to check? No one wrote anything on it. We already looked that up, right? No one wrote anything. I don't know these people. And Elephant Analytics, he writes on everything. So there's nothing here of value unless someone commented on something. Who commented on it? Let's just check this. Anyone? Why are others reporting a loss? Read it from the website. If you remove the 127, you get negative EPS. Oh, see, you net a gain. If you do the bond exchange, that's a gain on your earnings. You know what I mean? That's why it's legit. All right, so no comments. Damn. And then finally, just remind me how much did they actually own? This is going to tell us. Yeah, there you go. They own 30%. Hey, Prescott. We saw Prescott. Didn't we just see Prescott with something? How about the management? Okay. Oh, they're look at La Pierre or however you pronounce it. They must be they're on the board. They control the damn company. They got 30%, and with Prescott they got 40%. But that's them. That's not individuals. Well, yeah, Prescott Group Capital Management. When did we just cross paths with them? Is that them? There's a couple Prescotts, but I swear that was them. Is Civio? Is that where we came across? Maybe it was them. CDev. Oh, look at the huge decline. Look, in the proxy, they owned 23 million. As of when? March 13th. March 13th. Oh, that's an odd time. You know what I mean? That was right as everything was going on. So if they sold in Q2, they sold after March 13th. They could have sold in late March. Do you blame them? You don't. See what I mean? So they had 23, and then they sold 15 million. So kind of discount them. They didn't see as strong of a compelling case here. Kind of a bummer. Even though I don't know them, but again, you don't knock them too much. There was so many opportunities out there. It's tough, but it would have been super bullish if they held on or if they added. You know what I mean? Bummer. So this is all on Riverstone, and they were buying. They were buying what after the bond exchange? As soon as the bond exchange. Interesting. The bond exchange was announced April 22nd. Were they really buying more? 91? Oh, I thought I just had a... All right. Yeah. They went from 83 to 90. Okay. I think I'll add. I'm going to specify. But very leveraged. No maturities till 25. Recent bond exchange. Netted a gain. Recent bond exchange at 50. That'll be more helpful for me. Riverstone. Controls company. Buying in May. Usual energy risks. Delaware. How big is it in the portfolio? It's in the portfolio, right? Small, 0.3%. It's tough. I mean, if these are risk on, so if everything sells off, including these energy pitches, these are the ones that are going to get whacked. Make no mistake. Plus, they got to figure out their listing. They got 6 months to figure out their listing issue. They probably do a reverse split, which is fine. Who cares? And Baytex too. These are all going to get whacked. You got to be careful getting into these. But it's a good everything. The setup looks okay. And remember, look how big this was. I mean, the chart looks like shit, as we talked about. This looks terrible. But it traded. What is this at book value? Came public at 10. Traded at 20. No, traded at two times, about 2 times book value, and now it trades at 7% of it. You don't need much to go right, but if things go wrong, you're screwed. You're screwed. But they already got the bond exchange. They got a little bit of wiggle room. 30%. They care. They're trying. The setup looks decent. But this kind of looks bad though, don't it? But this is why I kind of. But if the month looks like shit. How about the weekly? It's coming up. Doesn't look great, but just barely hanging in there. And we're talking about oil. If oil breaks, this one's gonna get. It's right there. It's Remember, a lot of other oil stocks look super bullish, but what was it? Was just at 2. Oh, we could get a quick bump. Boy, that got up to 2. All right, this is an ad. You know what I mean? Sometimes these are someone controls the company and no one's really buying it because they're like, so and so controls it. But this still got bid up. Look at that. This was mid bond exchange. April 22nd. They announced it April 22nd, and the stock price started taking off. And then it kind of tracked all value. All value was up. This wasn't specific to them, but people bought it. People bought it, and it's helpful that $200 million market cap. If this was like a $30 million market cap, I'd be less confident. I like this is an ad. It has 10-bagger potential too. It traded at book value. It traded at book value 15 months ago. 15 months ago. I know it's energy and a lot happened over the past 15 months, this year in particular, right? Not lost to me. It's not my point. My point is just traded at book value 15 months ago. Shit. Wow, there's still some potential 10-baggers in the energy space. Some of them have already turned into 10-baggers. Some of them are 5-baggers, 10-baggers already. I can think of like 5 off the top of my head. You got CDEV, you got Sandridge, you got Forum Energy, FET. Those are the 3 off the top of my head. Baytex, I don't know if that's got 10-bagger potential. I don't think so. Antero from the lows, 10-bagger potential. Same for RRC. That's multi-year though. These ones could happen relatively quick if suddenly energy popped up to $60. You know what I mean? Which is always a possibility. And those natural gas ones, those more multi-year. But Antero from the lows, that could be a 10-bagger. Any other ones? Then with this, you got to watch energy closely though, right? I mean, you're gonna see more 10-baggers in a cyclical industry. Let me get this out of the way. Let's do this. Just trying to think aloud here. Flowtech, could be, but remember they're changing the whole business. That's why. It could be a 10-bagger. I mean, if what they're doing and the insiders are bullish, it could be a 50-bagger, a 100-bagger. You know what I mean? If they got the right idea as to what's possible with the energy data that they're going down that path. But I just don't have much insight into that. I'm not an expert on that stuff. Antero, RRC, PBF now, Sandridge, yes. Pump from the lows could be a 10-bagger. The lows was $1.50. But you need energy to really bounce back. But it's not a 10-bagger from here. P10, not really. Water, could be. Forum, yes. OVV, it's already a 10-bagger? Or it's going to be, but not anymore. Not from here. NGS, no, not from here. Oh, did I buy more NGS? How big was that? Oh, shit, you can't go back? I wanted to go back one. Oh, it's right there. 0.66. Yeah, I bought a little bit, didn't I? I kind of want a little bit more, you know? I'm taking my time. I think I added, but I'm like, I'll take my time. I got plenty of time to get into. I got plenty of time to add some more to it. GTE. Oh, GTE was one too. Look at that shit. Okay. Look at this. Okay, so the similar chart, right? Similar chart. So shit, it came all the way back down. It wasn't. It's come down. Okay. Insiders doing anything there? Oh, they're starting to sell, but small percentage they sold. They were buying too. GMT, they're buying a ton. Kind of got walloped. So this is a similar chart here. Do we add to both of these? I'm not really looking for more energy exposure, but you know what I mean. These that's a July article. A lot of comments on there. The value portfolio. Oh, so a lot more chatter about this one. I've owned it for a while. But there's a reason for this sharply weak. So these are same. So this is the same trade. It's the same trade. You might just diversify across them both. Except we already, like at the bond exchange, like we looked into. Look into G. I'm gonna say. Seems like this could still be bigger. Hope you can see that. Okay. Look, it's the same. I suspect it's the same trade. Except I don't know if there's a major owner who owns 20-30% of that shit, you know? Let's just check. It was GMT Capital. They were buying up a shit ton. Does anyone own a large chunk now? They still own 22% as of June 30th. It's their 17th largest position. No one else. It's the same trade, isn't it? But I just have to look into, like, the one thing CDev's already got going for it. I don't feel like looking into another one right now. I'll look later. But this is, I think it's a similar trade. It could be helpful to diversify. And then let me just check the bonds real quick. At least someone's got a good chunk. Damn, I bought in at like 15, 20 cents. That sucks. It's kind of pulled back. It was like a 4-bagger. Ah, shit. So bonds in a similar place. Look at this, 2025. So in a similar spot bond-wise, huh? Wow, very similar trade. 2025, 2027, the bonds are traded in the 40s. Very similar. Damn. I mean, I was up on a lot of positions on June 8th there. I don't think I took any. I don't think I took any profits. Maybe I did, but not much. Oh, it's I legit bought at 20 cents. I remember. Was it this one? This one too? No, FET I bought at 20 cents. This one I don't remember. Was that a buck? Yeah, I think I might add to this too. I can't do it sight unseen. I at least need to look. So much energy exposure. This is just good for us to remember. Announces completion of its credit facility redetermination. That was June 1st, first quarter. Announces second quarter results. What do I got to say about? All I really care about is the of the credit facility and covenant waiver until October 2021. So they got a waiver on their covenants for 12 months. Ugh, that's all just a waiver. Successfully completed semi-annual redetermination. The borrowing base limit was redetermined. Was granted relief under the. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I just want some comments on the financial situation. Hedges in place. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Position to thrive in 2021. No, if you say so, we'll see. Operations update. I don't care. A message to show we reduced our 20 capex. Yeah, because you had to. You run out of money. No outlook or fun. Come on. Sorry, I know I'm scrolling a bunch. I know. All right, let's keep moving. It's almost 9:30. Were we going to look something else? Just make that note. GTE. Interesting though. All right, I know we were going to look at Diebold. Miller value, pull that up. We're going to look at DBD. Oh yeah, not just also quick, go on Gamestop. Pull up Gamestop. This article today, I thought this is pretty good. I like the focus on. Oh, that was the author. Oh, did I see him responding? I don't know if you like this. I like this though because I mean I own options. And no one's really talking about it much. Right now they're super expensive. I think I mentioned that they were super expensive. But I did pick up a little bit more. I found they're still expensive, but I'm kind of treating a little bit like they got a little bit more pricier than they were a month ago, of course, right? But I bought more stock, bought everything more in July. But you can buy on the way up too. In the thesis, I just thought I'd buy a little bit more. But anyway, so he talks about this. I thought he kind of had his finger on the pulse. A lot of it, he was he understood the story, his introduction stuff, brief history. I thought it was good. Bullish case. Short squeeze case study. He talks about Volkswagen. I don't know about that, huh? I mean, that's the one everyone wants to talk about. What people were talking about too, and it's been discussed before, is that I had included an adjusted float figure. I included an adjusted float figure in my latest GameStop video, right? Where I talk about you exclude Hesta and Permit and Scion and Must and who's the other one? The other guy, the billionaire guy who bought in. I said exclude them from the float, but I think this guy, did he do it where he went through and he excluded the funds from the float? And I kind of get I guess I get why, because the floats, the funds aren't necessarily going to be selling out just because the price rises. In theory, depending on why they hold them, they might be buying more because of that, right? So they're in a weird position because they're the ones who are loaning out their shares for people to short. So I'll be honest, this is above my pay. This is above my pay grade. Can this be systematically unwound? With so many people talking about this squeeze, you would think that it almost can happen, right? Like everyone sees the 100%. And this what I mean. This Volkswagen was such a unique thing. There were only like 6%. It's a good little history. Less than 6% of the voting stock remained, and it was only. But that's the thing. It was only 12% of shares were shorted. But there was a reason, like there was a merger announcement. You know what I mean? Like this, there could be people selling all the way up because unless they don't no longer think the terminal value is zero. That's why it's so important to get that narrative right. If management changes the narrative, that people actually think it could be a growth stock, which I still think it could happen with the consoles and everyone starts talking about it. But management needs to step up their game. They really do. It's August. It's about to be September, and they But I don't know. As people talk about it more, it may not even matter how compelling their story is because people might just start buying it. But anyway, does he do this, or did someone comment on it, talking about? He did good work here, like pulling up all this stuff, and I quickly glanced at it, and it looked in the ballpark of reality. And not many people do this. I do this. I was doing this, and not to this degree. He really went through. I kind of just ballparked it, although I was curious. Oh, so that's what he did. Where did he get these? Where did he get those 2020 figures? Where did he get those? He doesn't say where he got those. Where do you see the June 12th and June 16th? Did I miss that? Oh, he got them from here. Smart. Yep. Nice. He went through each one. Props. I didn't do that. I used last year's proxy as a ballpark figure as to how much they roughly had. He actually went through, pulled up each Form 4, and within the Form 4, they will show you how many shares you... These weren't purchases. Usually Form 4 you're looking at for share purchases. Is this not opening? Come on. When shares are issued to you as well, you file the Form 4, right? I think that's how that works. Those aren't opening on me, but that's what he did. He went through all those Form 4s. It's taking a while, huh? What if I did this? There you go. There you go. So he went through there. We can get the Form 4s this way, huh? A little back doorway. Amount of securities beneficially owned following the reported transactions. Nice job. He went through and actually pulled up each Form 4 and penciled it in. But it's the reason I didn't do this is because it's so small. The number of shares that these... Oh, I didn't even look at his thing. But what is it? What is it total? It doesn't even total $1 million. I knew Sherman owned quite a bit. Oh, he has $2 million? He owns $2 million? Okay, that's more than I thought. But everyone else, look how small it is. But these ones are 2019, but these 2021s are also small relative to 65 million shares outstanding. It wasn't as big. I'm like, it's not worth the effort. It's like it doesn't make a difference. We need to know, but where's 5 million shares or 10 million shares? Where are all those? So James Bell, he has $500,000. But Sherman's got 2 million. Does he have 2 million? That's legit. I knew it was at least $1 million. In my mind, I didn't know that it was over 2 though. I trust this guy's work though if he's going through each Form 4. So that 2 million is legit actually. It's almost as much as Burry, but it's important that he's aligned. But so 9 million shares. Oh, that's kind of... Oh, he's including Hesta and Permit. Well, Hesta and Permit has more than... That's this. He's kind of messed up a little bit here, because they own. He's only got. See, I consider Hesta and Permit insiders at this point, but Hesta, because there's joint letters together. You know what I mean? In total, they own over 4 million shares, and so I would say they own even more than 9 million. He's only got Wolf because and Paul Evans because they're directors, and so he only pulled those up, but they own much more than that. So this is actually closer to 12, 13 million shares. And so he included institutions, right? And then he goes through I include Foss and Must Asset and Scion and Permit. And then he does his adjusted float calculation. And I don't know. With these funds, first of all, you need a sudden onslaught of people who want GameStop shares. You know what I mean? So that's the thing with this Volkswagen. They had to close their shorts and they were running out of shares to buy. They're running out of shares to buy. With GameStop, unless there's a merger announcement or something, highly unlikely. It's like there's a good chance there'll be plenty of shares to buy back, because on the way up, if people still believe the terminal value is zero, might people be selling their shares all the way up? You might not be able to get that high on the short squeeze because you need substantial demand and not many people willing to sell. But it's interesting because the funds, maybe they're not going to be selling, but if it's if they're the ones who have to, I don't know. I don't know. I'm really curious to see how it unfolds. But I thought this was a good article because it's just a new take on the situation. And I'm not sure where the hell did he get those figures, though? Didn't I see, was he forecasting like 10 million in revenues or something? I don't know what the hell he was talking about there. But, and then these charts, I don't know. I mean, I understand what they're saying, but it's just some charts kind of illustrating his point. I mean, I think I own some of the ones he was talking about, some of the calls. He assigned some probabilities. So this is good stuff, though. To actually go through and assign probabilities, that's good. I don't do this as much. I don't go to this level of detail. I just need the gist. Hopefully you can tell that by the stream, right? I'm just trying to get the gist on shit. Could GameStop price be way higher? And if so, what's the probability that that's it? But to go through each line item, I guess you do it intuitively. But I like when someone goes through good work to do that and to actually put a percentage on it. Not many people are willing to do that. Even I haven't outright done it. But look at that, and then he gives the adjusted value. Shit, I mean, I hope this guy... he does a good conclusion, too, because he says there's a non-zero chance. Assumes 1550. Although, that's the thing, too. 1550 as of September 15th? I'll take that. I mean, that's a true short squeeze. What? Like September, I don't know why he chose that date. And then he's talking about the spike. I mean, as volatility increases, he's already seen it, though. That's why some of these GameStop options are expensive, because volatility's increased a bit. And has always been, I mean, VIX is still over 20. So it's across stocks, but in particular GameStop. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know the likelihood of this. Someone else asked me about the short squeeze again, too. It was a good back and forth. And I don't know. It's educational to like think through these, to think through, like read this article and just think through what do you think the probabilities are and that type of stuff. And that's what I was doing as I read it. And again, I own some of the calls he's talking about here, and I go, oh, shit, I hope he's right. But still, just I don't know. Doesn't it seem like so obvious? It seems like so obvious that it doesn't seem like it could happen. But I really don't know if maybe it can be system. Oh, there's a ton of people posting on this. Wow. But anyway, check that out. Good article. And oh, did I announce this too? It sounds like there's going to be an updated Switch. Did I forget when I came across that? It was yesterday, so we probably didn't talk about it. There's going to be an upgraded Switch that's going to be released. Oh, shit, yeah, that's sick. There's always something to talk about with GameStop these days, right? Something new. But there's going to be a new Switch. It's rumor, right? But it was on Bloomberg. It seems like it could be legit, I think. And then it's like spring 2022 or not spring 2021, was it? No. I think I saved the article, but whatever I want to call it. Oh, shit, it's 2021? Oh, shit. In my mind, I was thinking 2022. Oh, we'll get news on this soon then. Oh, how much more downside protection do you need? So this is sick for a number of reasons. I almost wish this news came out before my latest video because I would have included that. You know, I talked up the Switch and how, I mean, they skew a little bit more physical, but also it's hugely popular these days. And that's great news for GameStop because it does skew physical. There's a lot of people who want the physical games and stuff. But even still, just another console, even though it's just an upgrade, there's going to be tremendous demand for this, just like there's tremendous demand for the current Switch console. And when people are buying these consoles, they're coming in and they're often buying games in real time, buying bundles and stuff. Remember, GameStop has that captive audience with their 60 million members and so forth. And I was talking to someone today too. It was a good discussion talking about how with these larger consoles too, and no one's really talked about this. I hadn't even thought about this, but he brought up a good point saying how people want to. You can buy a console on Amazon, you can buy a console anywhere, but people kind of want to buy that more expensive console in a physical store. No, this isn't a big part of the thesis, right? It's just kind of like, I never really thought about that. And so people kind of want to buy that in the store. And when they do that, they might be poking around at bundles and stuff and discs. That's a big part of the thesis. Anyway, this is another reason for people to come into a store, this console, this upgraded Switch. Shit, I didn't realize it was going to be 2021. That's this is big news for people interested in GameStop's downside protection. So because once it's confirmed, if it is confirmed, it's just another way for cash flow to come in the door. GameStop held up well during the last up switch, like the revenues held stabilized. Oh, here we go. Another. Hey, what's up, Jordan? Cheers, mate. Good question. Hey, thank you. Some other folks asked me questions on Monday too. I meant it. Thank you for asking the questions because it results in like I'd say discussion, but it's more is you ask the questions, but I'm responding. But it's good to like talk through this too, especially because it's a big position. But all right, can GME double so I can play around with your other? That's a good one. I like that. September 9th, hoping for a 1.2 billion in revenue would cause a huge move. So yeah, September 9th, because they announced today. That's when they were going to announce their updated earnings. So do you think, I know, so I've been wondering about this. So first of all, I'm on the same page with you though, Jordan. I'm hoping this shit can double and triple, right? Because I want to invest more across my other picks too, you know what I mean? And I think this is one of the nearest term catalysts of a lot of the stocks that I'm dealing in. And so it's a big reason this position's getting bigger and bigger over time too, is because I think it's going to unfold sooner and sooner. I hope I'm not wrong about that. But indeed, I'm hoping it jumps quick here, and then I'll use that capital to buy these other positions. So I'm in the same boat as you. I hope so. But as far as it's Q2. I don't know. So first of all, is it going to be a good quarter? Was I talking about this earlier in the stream? How after every damn earnings release over the past year, the thing sells off, right? After like 6 earnings releases in a row, boom, sell off, and then many times it bounced right back up, right? And this one, it was up but then sold off, but that's because everyone's selling off. But so I'm starting to think, are we finally starting to get to the point where it's finally going to start beating on the upside sentiment-wise? It really is going to come down to sentiment. I do think this is probably the last of the kind of relatively shitty quarters coming up that just passed. But there's a question of, is it already priced in? I do think it's already priced in, but this sentiment's been tricky because even I found it hard to believe that we were still trading below 5 in August. That seems stunning to me. But I don't know. We're going to be so close to the console refresh, and maybe this gets bid up in the next 2 weeks. You already see it rising. I mean, it's already up 25% in August. A lot of stuff is. But still, what if it goes up another 25% or something? Then we're at 6 or 7. That increases the chances of a pullback. But I don't know. So a couple things. I think they could beat 1.2 billion in revenue. Yeah, I don't. Do you think so? Would they have 1 billion? They had 1 billion in Q1, right? 1 billion in Q1, and then you think it picked up even more. I don't know. I don't have a super strong forecast for this quarter. It's in my mind, it's more is it finally going to like surprise people to the upside or surprise people to the downside? The revenues figure is going to be somewhat important, right? But it's more this: is there going to be a narrative that's discussed that's going to change? Is going to be a story that's shared by management that's going to change the negative sentiment that GameStop can't get out of? And there's a couple things that can happen. The revenue itself, how they performed, right? Did they outperform on revenues? Did they outperform on earnings, right? That's standard stuff. But also sale leaseback, the closing of the sale leaseback, how much cash did they generate from that? 50 million? 100 million? I lean more toward the lower side, and what did they do with that cash? Is it possible they bought back some debt or even shares? I don't think it's possible, but imagine, I said this the other day, imagine if on that, we've seen a couple huge volume days. I doubt it was them, but if it was, and they announced on this conference call, forget everything else. They announced there's only 40 million shares left, and we're 2 months away from the new consoles. How can you? I mean, the stock price needs to be repriced significantly higher. It just does, because then the upside's even higher. I think, especially as long as that balance sheet is still looking strong. But yeah, there's a lot of different things that they could release, and then a potential vendor partnership. Now we're real close. By the time that rolls around, will the pre-order stuff be announced and stuff, and the price points and the dates? Like, it's possible they announce some sort of in-store partnership, some sort of, maybe people get an early poke, an early look at the consoles in their store. But we need more on that now, on the story, like how they're going to transform themselves. And it's been eerily quiet over the past couple months. They've been focused on the bond exchange, and then like super quiet. For better or worse, I lean toward, I think it's good Maybe they're kind of planning on releasing all their news at once in September. Maybe I was thinking maybe they wanted to get all the negative news behind them because I thought this quarter could be rough. I'm not so sure. And then it's only good news moving forward. To be honest, I don't. This is mere speculation, right? We're just having fun, just trying to guess. It's all guesswork. But I lean toward we're so damn close to what I consider the catalyst that I was asked today if it does sell off following the earnings release, would I sell? It's highly unlikely that I personally would. I reserve the right to change my opinion, right? All of us do, but I don't know what I could possibly hear in this earnings release that would make me think there doesn't remain substantial downside protection at the current price point of $5 right now. What could they announce? I don't. Even if the quarter is a shit quarter, these consoles are still coming out. I mean, then this Switch news, which I wasn't really expecting, especially if it's 2021. What could they possibly announce that could be so negative and so bearish? The only thing I could think of, and I think this is highly unlikely, is if they were like, oh, we're not going to have a large share of the consoles to sell and the games and stuff because the Sony and Nintendo aren't going to issue them to it. That's highly, highly unlikely. GameStop's got a giant share of the market, especially brick and mortar, and they're partners. They're kind of partners in this. Plus, they took care of their credit issues and stuff, and so I think that's the only thing that I'd be like, oh, are people not going to be shopping there as much as I thought? But other than that, I don't care if there was $800 million in revenues. Like it doesn't change my thesis. But I'm with you. Let's hope let's hope that Q3 gets this stuff started in the right direction, and that it's just up or downhill. I don't know, uphill, downhill. That it's up from there. But you have to think that this thesis has to unfold within. I mean, I've long been thinking by like January, February, April of next year, like because that's when sentiment will be its highest. But they need to have this story crafted within 18 months at this point. What is it? It's August 2020. Like I would change my mind come 12 months from now. Then I'd be like, shit, I guess I was just wrong about this. Because if it does not happen while the consoles are coming out, like this is a huge opportunity to unload all this positive news and this bullish stuff. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like we're just so close. It's going to be September. But we'll see. I don't have precise forecasts for this quarter. I'm not sure how much of a difference it will make, but I thank you for sharing yours. 1.2 billion. I'm sure I'm going to keep that in mind when they actually announce. I'll be like, oh yeah, Jordan Jordan was right, or when other people make the forecast too. Yeah, gaming generally has been so much more in favor. I still don't know if it's a net benefit, but this COVID stuff, like they're having year over year like huge gains. Where this was supposed to be a really tough period and it's still a tough period. I'm not saying it's not. You know what I mean? But like. That we're even talking about that it might only be they were only down like 4% in May or something year over year. I'm like, holy shit, that they're holding up pretty well. This is supposed to be a really quiet period, real tough period for GameStop where not many people shopping there. But maybe they'll do okay. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll see. But yeah, man, it's just shaping up, and the stock price just keeps on going up. It's at $5. I don't know what else. Just watch it now. Be curious. I'm willing to bet that it gets. That was 100% speculation there. I bet that it gets bid up leading into the earnings release because of how cheap it is. That's it. Because of how cheap it is, in just the mere passage of 2 weeks, gets us closer to the console refresh and then the earnings release. That they'll start getting involved. I think it's already started happening. I think that's what this is a bit because there's been no news, of course, right? Or not much news, we should say. But yeah, we'll see. You know what I mean? Chart looks good too. Imagine if this thing breaks above 650 and shit. I don't even know. But yeah, we'll see about that short squeeze. I still don't know about the short. I'm not totally sold in short squeeze, but I see it. I see what everyone's talking about, and we'll see. Oh yeah, can we do some artwork on here? Because really, the whole thesis is based on these lines on this chart, right? It's like right there, right? It's like always stopping out right in those fives, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay. What else? What was I talking about? Oh, I talked about this article. Yeah, I don't know if yeah, I mean, if there's a short squeeze, so I mean, again, I own some of the options, right? And boy, some of these could be maybe some of the ones. In theory, some of the I wasn't intending some of them to be like I hate to even say this because this isn't how I typically roll, but some of them could be 100 baggers. Shit, can you imagine? I not necessarily at the prices they're at today, but I got lucky on some of the cost basis on some. They could be, but that's the thing. It seems too good to be true. But how often do you see 100% short interest? I don't know. Anyway, that was this is worth checking out. This article is worth checking out. I appreciate the new takes. That was good. What the hell else were we doing? We're going to check out Bill Miller. Now it's 9:50. See, get me going on GameStop. Forget about it. The whole stream's over. Why did I get talking about GameStop? Shit. But anyway, so oh yeah, that Switch. I've heard some. So the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I've always thought Nintendo would be a good partner for GameStop, a vendor partner. But you know, it could be any, like Xbox could be, any one of them could be. I don't even know what that vendor partnership would look like, by the way. But I sure as shit hope we get news on it soon. But yeah, this is gonna be another cash ban. 2021. That's sick. How much downside protection? How much downside protection can you take? Can you get? Again, the consoles have lower margins, right? They're slimmer margins, but people will be buying the games, and the used games are it's a huge market. I don't have numbers. That's the thing. I wish I had figures to support that, but it appears as though you look at some of what those used games are selling at GameStop, and they're at huge margins. So an upgrade would be good. Ah, damn, that's good news. But that's the thing. There's so much downside protection. It's almost like everything's marginal. You know what I mean? The sale leaseback, or people talking about selling their international operations, or the European operations, or the Australia operations. And I just think if it nets another 50 million or another 100 million, and at this point, all that stuff's marginal because it has plenty of downside protection. This is why I'm able to make it such a big position in the portfolio, right? Because in my mind, the downside is just limited. I may be wrong about that, right? I might be wrong, but in my analysis, at a 330 million market cap, based on what I think free cash flows could be, I just think, and all the cash they have on the books as of the last quarter anyway, and there's just tremendous upside potential. So, but an extra 50 million, an extra 100 million doesn't make that much of a difference for me because I feel like it's all covered. But I like it. Don't get me wrong. That's hugely helpful because I care most about the downside. But at this point, now we're getting close. It's like, all right, we need to change that upside viewpoint. That we need people to change their viewpoint from the terminal value of this company is zero. Pretty much everyone believes that. Even bulls believe that. That the terminal value is zero. But you just need people to just think. If they just think, you know what, terminal value isn't zero. That if they do have this new business model, that's the thing. Even we speculate on what it could be. It's kind of fun to think about. It does seem like it's possible. That's why I don't understand if people set it at 0%. But if they can just change the narrative so that maybe they could grow alongside gaming. Maybe it's a smaller business. Maybe they're much smaller, much fewer stores. But if people actually come in and whatever the hell that is, experiential products and all that. But if people start thinking that and they think, oh shit, this might be a growth company, then it's game over for shorts. Then it's game over. Like nothing else will matter because then people might be falling over themselves to buy the shares. That's the type of thing I'm talking about when it comes to a short squeeze. You need people falling over themselves. Like suddenly they really, really, really want the stock or they need the stock. And as of right now, even though it's a huge short interest, it's possible that for the mechanics of the market that it could just happen because of that. But really you need a story. You need a story, and I think a growth story of some sort. But if that happens, it's game over. They'll be like, holy shit, we were wrong about this. If the terminal value isn't zero, it could even thrive over the long term. And that's where you could have huge upside potential. But I'm looking out multi-years, right? Looking out 5 years or something. Again, it would probably be a smaller company, but it's at least conceivable. It ain't zero. That's why I don't understand the Bears case. It's zero. It's not possible. I think that's crazy. Even at 10 or 20% chance, it's be a huge benefit to GameStop. So we'll see, but I certainly hope that we get some of that storytelling stuff in Q3. I don't think it's likely they bought back shares, but shit, that would be great if they did. I feel like they have adequate liquidity to do so, but I don't think it's likely. That could catch people by surprise. Again, even catch me by surprise because I don't think it's likely. But I'm just trying. There's like a confluence of things, a confluence of business events that they could share and announce that could catch everyone by surprise. Like, oh, they dumped it all on at the same time. You hope that's the case, but it's not likely that's the case. But the bond exchange behind them, it's like, what else could be? Some people talk about them going bankrupt too because of technical defaults and stuff like that. Like that stuff's behind them. It's like only this rough quarter, but then all that, I think it's all upside, sentiment-wise, news-wise. I think it's all beats. But we'll see. I don't know. I need to. I should maybe Wednesdays will be Gamestop. You know, it's Wednesdays or Gamestop talk until the thesis unfolds correctly or incorrectly. You know what I mean? Hopefully correctly. Then we'll all get together, drinking a beer, chilling, having a good time. You know what I mean? That'd be fun. Looking at the other stocks, I'm like, all right, where are we gonna deploy that Gamestop? Hopefully, we can dream, right? Ah, shit, we didn't get to DBD. Ah, damn. All right, well, DBD, we got to check that out. Did I make a note at least? Ah, shit, I didn't. That's where we're going to check out because that was the one that Bill Miller was involved in. And look, did I at least can we pull up the fundamentals? That'd be sick. Oh, we got 3 minutes? Ah, is it even worth it? That's the question. Is it even worth it? We got some energy picks. This one, they generate cash flow here. I don't want to say free cash flow, but look at this. They had free cash flow. They generate like $1 in free cash flow. Oh, it's not that cheap back in the day, but super leveraged. Look at negative tangible book. But real revenues, $4 billion. You know what I mean? It was huge company. And relative to what I'm usually doing, that's not that huge. GameStop's bigger than this company, but huge relative to some of the other companies we were looking at. It's like 5 times bigger, right? 6 times bigger than the other companies we were just looking at. But we need to dig into the story. Speaking of story, like that, what I'll do for some of these companies, and we just did it with CDEV. You pull up just the press releases. You don't need to go back 10 years for something. You need to look. I prefer to look at long-term fundamentals. But if you're just trying to get the story, again, when I talk about GameStop story, that's a little bit different. They need to change the story about how they're going to transform its legacy operations into a new growth type, experiential, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about story here. I just, what the hell is going on with this company? Just pull up the damn press releases over the past 12 months, 18 months usually, and then watch the insider buying, what the insiders are doing, and what the funds are doing. Were there any funds buying over the past couple quarters? And then when you'll see in the press releases, were there bond exchanges that were happening? Were you know what I mean? Those type of business events. Just get a feel for like what the hell's going on and what the price has been doing this whole time. And you can you get the story. It takes you could do I think you could do the whole thing in an hour. I think we just did CDEV pretty damn quick. You could probably do it in 15 minutes. If we were being super quick about it, we could probably do it in 15 minutes. But you want to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, maybe 20, 25 minutes, which we don't have time for now. I don't think you can do it in 2 minutes, though. I don't think you can do it in 2 minutes. I know, I keep on saying 2 minutes like YouTube is like, you need to stop at 10. I know you could stream whatever the hell you want, right? Really, that would be my preference. I do the fixed time just to keep it simple for people, so they at least know that I'm here. But really, that you do research, as you all know. You do research when you feel like it. I don't always feel like doing research, and I don't even feel like looking into companies. You'll see me say that. I don't feel like doing that right now. I need there needs to be an impetus or something like, the stock's breaking out, or the insiders are buying, or the market's selling off, and that gets me going. Then during those times, I'll work a ton. These days, we're kind of just following up on stuff, and so like what we've been doing these streams over the past month is not what we would always be doing over the next couple months or years or anything like that. It's always changing what we're doing. So anyway, as far as when it comes to getting the story on a company, you can't do it in, well, now we're down to 1 minute. But right off the bat, I see it trades at a solid discount to revenues, but not that cheap. You know what I mean? It was much cheaper when it was trading like $1 or $2 or whatever it was. You got revenues of $52 a share, but then you negative tangible book, and the free cash flows weren't as large as I thought. Simpler free cash flow of $2, a buck, but they had a strong market share. You know what I mean? Like they dominated those ATMs. Those I think it's ATMs, right? Can we just check? Oh, it's 10. YouTube's coming after me. Ah! Right? Diebold. You see the Diebold on the things, right? Yeah, that's it. All right. They like had a strong foothold on, like they're the dominant player. So that always catches my attention. I like dominant players, right? Everyone likes dominant players. But when you're trading in the gutter, you're a deep value stock and you're a dominant player. That's sick. But so we'll have to look more into this. Look into it. Get the story. Doesn't look super cheap, but the chart looked good, right? Yeah, this looks good, right? But a longer term, it's like it's got some work to do. I don't know. It's got some risk, right? All this risk. Oh, let's just check the bonds real quick. We should probably just start with that. Look at that. 100. It's traded at 93. 2024 bonds. Yeah, you see the CCC. All right, not ranked that highly, right? But not rated that highly. It only got down to 60. That's because it Generates real cash. How much is this? 400 million. Sick. All right, that's not that bad. Bonds at 93. Did we say there was insider? Not much insider buying, right? Oh, but Bill Miller. Did we make a note? I feel like we did make a note on that. Bill Miller, Bitcoin lover, just bought in July. Is that what we said? All right, I do need, let me just check that. July 2020. He at least he reported in July. He may have been adding to this position for years. You know what I mean? But he just breached a certain threshold to have to file in July. You know what I mean? So it could have just been a marginal purchase. I think people sometimes miss that point. But now it's his. Now that's it. I think it's his trust. I looked into it, but it says it's the second largest position. He's only got 4 though. But and that's different from Miller Value. But we know that they own it too. How much does he own? 10%? Also owns in the Miller Value Partners Fund. And how much do they own there? 4%. They own 15%. That's legit. Huh. And you know what else you want to check when you the story talked about the story, right? Management changes. You know what I mean? You want to see his management turn it over. People missing that with GameStop. When people say that, you know they didn't do good analysis, because how could you not know GameStop changed up their management and that the new management team can't be blamed for the past shitty decisions of the that's analysis 101. Like, that's ridiculous. So, but I'm looking at these companies too, and I see a company like, oh, you really messed up, like I did with GameStop. Like, you really messed up. Like, you need to, how are you going to fix this? Do I really expect the same management team to fix their shit and get it right? Usually not. I'm like, I might take a position, but it's an extra risk I have to deal with. So, like with something like DBD, maybe they had maybe they fucking cleaned house last year or something, the past 2 years, and they got some new players and they know what they're doing. And Bill Miller has talked them up, just like Burry is now talking up these the new GameStop management team, because they've proved themselves to a degree. To me too, to a degree. And so maybe that happened. That's the thing too. I'm like, all right, so the change in the management team, they got a new board, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of those soft things that I look at that can make a difference. Like without seeing Bill Miller take this 14% position, I would have been less interested in digging deeper. But you know what, a good thing too, I talk about how messy this is. I talk about how, I keep on going to that one. This is a messy fundamental. Look at all this red. Bleeding to death, as I say. Oh, no. This is quarterly. This is quarterly. I did it. I'll fix this. Anyway, we can at least see 2020. It's a lot of red, at least in the recent quarter. This is rolling 12-month data. Just ignore this stuff. What I'm just getting at is that you see negative tangible book value. Revenues have stabilized. It's like a messy company to analyze. And although this is difficult for me, and this will be difficult for me to value, I'll do my best, but it's going to be, I'll probably lean on some EBITDA figures, which I don't love using on EBITDA, but I need something. I'll lean on fairly stable revenues. I can't lean on earnings. They don't have any earnings. Look at this. This is quarterly. I know it's all messy. Forget the data just for today. But the rolling 12-month, you got since 2016, rolling 12-month losses. How do you value that company? And even operating cash flow, negative. And then finally it turned positive. So that's a good sign, a little bit of an inflection point. So it's like, what do you lean on to come up with the value? I'd probably lean on some operating cash flow stuff, simple free cash flow. It's a little bit more reasonable than these EBITDA figures, but I got something. I'd probably apply a multiple to EBITDA. And that's what I mean. It doesn't look super cheap even based on EBITDA. It's trading at 4 times EBITDA or something. It's not crazy. It's crazy cheap given the leverage. But anyway, what I was getting at is that other people don't want to deal with this. They don't want to deal with this stock. They see this stuff. They're like, not for me. Out of my circle of companies, and they'll move on. And even I get close to that with some companies. But here, I think this is potential opportunity. Even though it's going to be really tough for me to try to come up with something, it's tough for other people too. And they'll just move on, and that kind of can result in an opportunity. Doesn't mean there's one here, but it's something like, all right, this is going to be tough. Let's see what we can find. And that's where I lean more on the story that's being told by the press releases, in the filings, insider buying, blah, blah, blah. You get that now. All right, now we're well over. Now I'm definitely, YouTube, I'm going to be arrested. 10:06, you kidding me? When they find out I went past 10, just don't tell anybody that I went this late. Oh, I got a lot of beer. We're entering chug mode. I got a lot of beer left. Anything else we're going to go through. Yeah, that buy list was good. See, today I was glad I had that buy list, you know? It kind of reminded me of some things to actually have it in a list, because this is good for command F'ing, but if you want a list, it's good. All right, so I'll keep that, and I just got to be better about managing that buy list. All right, cheers, everybody. Jordan, thanks for the good question. And what is today, Wednesday? All right, have a nice couple of days, and I'll see you on Friday, all right? Okay, peace out.